Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is indeed Michael at Batchest, joined by John X Batchest. Jonathan, it's been an absolute pleasure casting with you. We are going to game number 2. Before we do go into game number 2, I've got to give a quick shout out to my favorite niece, Bronte, who is watching right now. It's very late at night. They wanted a shout out. I'll give them one. Jonathan, game 1. It does go the way of EG in quite convincing fashion.
Oh yeah,
quite convincing fashion. Do you have faith that Beast Coast have a draft now that can really turn this game around, or at least this series around?
It's a tough one. The TA does give you a really strong win condition to play with now on Beast Coast, right? You and I were not big fans of the Bloodseeker. We've seen it work here though, in the majors every now and again. But as a general rule for you and me, Bloodseeker is not something we see work too much. The TA gives a good way of Beast Coast of scaling into the late game, of having the damage output. They have really good team fight. It's like the panel said though. There's a very specific timing for Beast Coast here, Mike. They've got to win the lanes and keep that aggression up. Let's say 15 minutes onwards, they've got to be able to just keep running, keep using their spells, and really shut EG down. If not, EG might have that shot towards the tiebreakers.
Oh, absolutely. And that would be very, very hype seeing those tiebreakers coming out, but they do have to get through this game number 2. And I definitely argue Beast Coast's draft this time around much easier to execute. You and I, not the biggest fans of Mid-Veno. For obvious reasons, Jonathan, you saw what happened in game 1. The impact wasn't really there. This time around, much more faith in this draft from Beast Coast. I think we're in for a very good game 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot better for Chris Luck to play on that mid. I think the matchup against Lina can go either way. Lina still outranges you. You can play with Psyblades, but you don't tend to reach too far in the laning phase. So it still feels like a favorable lane there. Some aggression coming out. They catch Gojira out.
Oh, nice. Nice little shards out there, though. Going to allow them to be able to go down those stairs, and Gojira will have a bit of a laugh to himself about that one. Of course, we will start with the mid lane once again. You're going to have Arbed there against Chris Luck. The TA, John. I'd say it's a bit of a harder matchup now for Arbed than it was last game against the Venomancer. That being said, though, you are playing mid laner. Chances are Arbed probably still going to have a good time. Best thing for Chris Luck is, though, he can always rotate into the jungle if he can't handle this mid lane.
I mean, he could have done the same thing with a Venomancer, right? Like, you could have gone for the wards build. He did go for the Gale, so he's forced to be aggressive. When it comes down here, early levels feel better for TA, but as it goes on, Lina doesn't feel too bad too. You get attack speed up. Seeing some aggression in the side lanes coming out, though, Mike. Gojira already, again, getting another good block off with the shards. EG trying to overwhelm them in lane. They're just looking for the constant aggression, running a tri-lane bot. So they are running a tri-lane on tri-lane, not something you see too often nowadays.
But you'd love to see it, John. It reminds me of, what was it, 5 years ago when this was just the meta, just having the solo offlaner and having tri-lane versus tri-lane. It makes me so happy to see it once again. See which one does come out on top. Generally speaking, though, when you've got a Bat Rider on the enemy side of things, it can be quite hard to fight into that. So you are going to see evil geniuses trying to put as much pressure as possible in these initial levels. Because once you've got that level 3 mark on the Bat Rider, things are going to get very, very tough. You and I, obviously, John, big fan of anything to do with bats right now, as or this Bat Rider. We'll see what Whisper can get done.
Yeah, he's having a decent enough time in lane. He's not really slowing down RTZ's farm, though. Because of the tri-lane, it's just hard for you to focus in, keep spamming out the sticky napalm, keep getting the levels you need. So this is slowing down that early spike for Bat Rider. Level 2 sticky napalm, level 2 Firefly is going to take a lot longer. That is something to consider. You are still seeing that back and forth on mid. Chris Luck has been getting good damage off onto Abed, but it comes down to range. If you don't manage to get the side blades off, you don't manage to harass him out, and Abed still clears out the wave really fast.
Bot lane, Jerax, that's a lot of sticky napalm on him. He's going to try and juke this one out, but the tusk is going to land with the snowball. Jerax, oh, he's still running, still trying, but eventually is going to go down. As Whisper does manage to find the first blood on the Bat Rider. Nice attempt from Jerax, but just not able to get himself out.
Yeah, it's a pretty big commitment from Beast Coast and even from Jerax to try to stay alive. Salve pop doesn't really give him too much. Gonna waste a few hundred gold again to get another source of regen. Despite that aggression, though, you're still not getting the best times from Whisper. Not finding the CS. That kill is big, but he's sharing the EXP with his Tusk. And RTZ still farming. So even if you sacrifice that Shadow Demon here, it does feel like AG is still getting what they want out of this lane anyway.
That's a fair point. Should have a look at the top lane, of course, and there we are. Of course, K1 going to be against Nightfall, the Mars versus Bloodseeker. It does feel like quite a favorable matchup here for Nightfall. Like, as K1 and the Bloodseeker, you're kind of running this lane alone, and Nightfall, he might just deny all your creeps.
Yeah, it's really easy for the Mars to just keep that deny game up. Really easy to shove away the Bloodseeker as well. Not much threat of the Blood Right without setup. So you're pretty secure, and you are seeing that reflect again in the CS. Nightfall having basically a free lane, a K1 being kept down even further than RTZ without that massive commitment from the supports. They will drag Stinger in now, but they also drag up Crit, and you've got the threat of the Spear into the Brambles, even the God's Rebuke into Brambles we've seen a couple of times. It's not a simple process for a melee hero to work this lane, and it just goes back to draft. You have to have K1 come online fast. He wants a fast BKB. Just want to run around and fight, but if you don't manage to get that good lane going, the timings for those items get delayed even further, and it just feels like the game starts to get harder and harder.
Yeah, and Bloodthick is not exactly the most meta position 1 right now. Hasn't been for a long time, so you certainly need a decent start. Stinger gonna try and get Nightfall out of there. Buy a bit of space for K1. Give him a bit of breathing room here on that Bloodseeker, and we'll see. He can start to catch up in terms of that CS. Of course, as the levels do go up, it does become a little bit easier. Just kind of keep healing yourself up, get a few more levels in Thirst. Until then, though, be in a bit of a difficult scenario as well, tips coming out from Chris Luck onto Crit. Not sure exactly what Crit did there to deserve that, but he will get a tip.
I mean, just trying to get into their heads just a little bit. Don't think they spotted any ward or any sort of rotation coming in. Still a bit of a slow down here after that 1 kill, just focusing in on finding that good farm in the laning phase. And then for EG, the less action you have in the laning phase, it feels a lot better because they're not looking for aggression. They're not the ones running these early tempo heroes as they're getting
bot lane. Yeah, RTZ, he's being targeted. RTZ, he'll try to fight back, but he's going to get out of that fire. Nice shards out. Whisper trying to chase, but no, they have the Shadow Poison stacks. Gojira now, he's the one who needs to back off. He doesn't have the damage for RTZ, but RTZ, he can turn right back around with the Rift out. Gojira, he'll try to stick charge up. It shouldn't be enough in the end. One more right click will do it. Very fire out. Still snowball towards the neutrals. Maybe a bit of a deny attempt here from Gojira into the shards, but there's your stun out. No damage flying out for Arteezy, but it won't matter. They'll find the kill eventually, and John, to make matters worse, Chris Luck, he ended up going down solo, I believe to Arbed in the mid lane.
Yeah, he just hit that level 6 mark on the Lina. You've got the burst damage, you can easily melt through refraction.
Oh boy.
Not done.
They're going to try and get him again. Make him have the walk of shame as Chris Luck. He's going to try to run. Looks like he is going to be fine. They'll force the rotation out from the Tusk to make sure Chris Luck does have a better time here and has a full bottle. And that time around, Chris Luck was actually tipping on purpose, Jonathan.
And Crit's just been on point with rotations. Chris Luck has to watch himself. Again, it's a slower start. The TA needs to build up her own Blink BKB, maybe a Dragonlance Deso. And she's going to have to share that jungle if you're not careful, considering how the side lanes have gone here for Beast Code. EG playing a very strong early start, very defensive for first few minutes, and then they see that opportunity to get aggressive, counteracting Beast Coast in the bot lane. Top lane for K1, starting to stabilize. He is finding more CS, but he's
K1, top lane, Brambles are gonna land. Curse Crown will be there. K1, he needs help right now. But never mind. First movement speed gonna be more than enough to allow him to get back towards that tier 1 tower. They won't follow up. They are certainly still trying to apply that pressure.
And just ensuring that the Bloodseeker doesn't let that flash farm up. It does look like K1's going to be opting for the Maelstrom to keep up and farm first, so not looking to just be ultra aggressive, would say a fast BKB, and just wanting to, you know, secure some farm, take it a bit slower, excuse me, as everyone still builds up. And the side of EG are just fine with that. You know, they've got Lina, they've got a CK, they kind of want to farm as well. And these heroes scale a lot harder. They're not looking to hit the specific timing. They do manage to get the deny off on the ward right inside sentry range, but they do manage to catch someone out. LSA?
Yeah, Arbed gonna land the Light Strike Array. Laguna is there. Snowball is gonna protect for now, but surely not for long as Gojira gonna drop another time. And that mid-tier 1 tower, it's in big trouble. Evil Geniuses, they did the same thing last game, but bot lane, Arteezy is going to be dived. Whisper is going to be able to secure the kill. I just wonder if it's really worth giving up the mid-tier 1 for that.
Doesn't feel like it, Mike. You lose a lot of that map control. You're not going to be able to play the jungle as much as you'd want. Triangle control starts to slip away from you. And you have Chris Luck, who's going to need a lot of that catch-up for him. So you have to be careful about that. They will rotate some heroes to help dissuade the side of EG. But the damage has been done. It's at 200 HP, not within deny range, but just a couple of shoves left and that tower could go.
Yeah, now you just can't leave it alone. We should see the Bat Rider rotations coming out very, very soon as he has hit that level 6 mark. And of course, you will need him to be able to try and protect that last bit of health in that mid-tier 1 tower. Still top lane, Arteezy, he's going to have a rotation. TPs are going to come in from our Batrider as Whisper is going to look for the lasso with the rupture set up into the flame break. Arteezy in big trouble, but a nice arena Nightfall. Going to try and fight back Arteezy. He's going to man fight, but he can't do it. He will go down into the lasso. They go. There's Crit trying to help Whisper. He does get himself out. K1 will rush back in. Nightfall. He's still in trouble. He'll go for a run. Curse Crown is there, but the Blood Right going to hold him down. Nightfall. He's in trouble and does end up dropping as now Jerax trying to move in to secure a kill, but he gets nothing. He's just going to run. And that's exactly what he does, but Beast Coast play that top team fight perfectly.
And they find the good angle in, they get the punishment off onto Arteezy, who's trying to push basically solo. He doesn't have level 6, doesn't have the Phantasm to play with, doesn't get lucky with the Chaos Strikes as well, so not much lifesteal in the middle of that engagement. And they saved their top tier 1. Not too much damage done to it. There was an opening for a shove in mid, but didn't really manage to commit there. But they are buying space out for Lina now instead. It does feel like we're seeing this again, as we saw in game 1. They're much more willing to have Arteezy play the front line now and just have Abed kind of build up. Arlena's still waiting for the BKB, as Rob T-Gov pointed out. Want to just get that quick build up. Do have the setup here.
Yeah, it's very easy with the disruption. Chris Luck, he's just going to get bursted down. Jerax, that's a great setup with the disruption, and Abed, he says thank you very much. Easiest kill of my life.
Yeah, just rushing towards that BKB. They've got that opportunity to push Arteezy.
Oh, he's getting involved again, Arteezy. You love to see it. Very early game rotations out onto Stinger now. They have the perch from Jerax. They'll lock him down. EG getting very aggressive, not playing the farming game. They want that mid-tier 1 tower, and that's exactly what they're going to get.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, it feels like for Beast Coast, they're starting to stream in one by one. They're not working together to coordinate a team. They've got to play with a pick. This up. Their Snapfire. Stinger's still a ways off. Does eat the book. Still lacking some EXP though. Looking like about 80 EXP left, or you'd have that tool.
Nightfall. Gonna find Gojira. Arteezy will go for a kill attempt. Snowball will be there. Arteezy, he'll wait around for it. Nice shards out. Gojira, he's not gonna block Arteezy away. He'll try to juke them out on the tree line and see if that's gonna work out for him, but I don't think so. Nightfall, he'll spear him up. Does secure the kill for himself. Beast Coast, well, they'll go for a smoke on their own accord now. Whisper and Stinger gonna make their way down towards the bottom side of the map, but you've got Abed and Jerax also smoking up, looking for somebody on the side of Beast Coast. In fact, they'll head down right towards K1, who doesn't know they're coming. K1, he's gonna back off right now. Jerax gonna get within range for the disruption. Abed, he'll have the perfect pull-up surely. K1, can he survive? Not quite, Abed. He'll get the Laguna Blade out. This Bloodseeker pos 1. It's a very rough affair if you've got to play from behind.
It certainly is, Mike. The Maelstrom not quite done. At this point, it does look like our Bloodseeker and our TA is going to be sharing farm, so Chris Luck and K1's going to have to share that jungle together. Whether or not they even get that early access to jungle, considering the vision game out from each of them.
One of his kisses out. They want Abed. Laguna Blade is there. Kiss is still going. Abed should drop. Chris Luck, he'll secure the kill with the Meltrack and finds another. Double kill out for the TA. Great rotations here from Beast Coast. They'll return the favor immediately against Evil Geniuses.
And that's what we need to see from Beast Coast. Play with the ults. Play with the kisses, play with the lasso, start getting those ganks going and temper yourself around those cooldowns. You can start buying the space out necessary for your TA. You can start building into that point where Chris Luck starts to become the big win condition for the side of Beast Coast. You are getting some farm out on Arteezy. I suppose this is a modest sacrifice to make. You still need the armlet up on the CK. He has been way more active, as you've pointed out, Mike, but once you do hit that point with the CK with the items up, I think you're kind of happy with Arteezy again, just being forward.
Gojira once again in trouble top lane, the exact same position. They'll lock him down with the brambles out. Gojira surely has no way out of this, and he won't. They just want to give the kill to Arteezy. They'll be very patient here. They do get away with it.
A nice little pick up there for Arteezy again, just building into the armlet. Beast Coast not in position to defend. They're just trying to play bot, clearing out the jungle while they can, taking that tier, opening up the opportunity to farm. They do have that early blink up on Chris Luck, so our TA can join in. It does feel a bit dicey without the BKB, but if you see that opportunity, the TA can start to present itself in these fights. Follow true from the lasso, help around with kisses. But every single time the game pace slows down, even if you're finding that farm on Beast Coast, you look at EG. Abed's still farming, BKB coming out in one part, Travels right after, RTZ again, Armlet almost done. And it's at that point where the early spikes for EG also start to line up. It does feel like Beast Coast needed to hit those timings a little bit earlier, but considering lanes, it's just tough to see that happening.
It certainly is, John. At the very least, Chris Luck is still having a very good time on this TA, and so is K1 on the Bloodseeker, able to keep that farm going. See how they do scale into the mid game. Bloodseeker and TA both very good in the mid game timing. Armlet, though, is going to be now available for RTZ. Again, he has been playing a much more aggressive style of play here, not opting to farm as much as he usually does, and rather gets involved with his team. So the Armlet does come out a little bit slower than you'd expect. We'll see if it does pay off for him. As EG, they are going to take a bit of downtime now, a bit of time to just hit some creeps. Of course, Beast Coast, they'll do the exact same thing. It's very confident with their duo of Bloodseeker and TA. It's Chris Luck, got to be careful for that haste rune. He'll make the jump in. Crit, not ready with the brambles.
Does manage to bail out in the nick of time. A bit of an invasion out from EG, trying to reclaim the top jungle. They have lost their wards. Good sentries this time coming out from Beast Coast to spot Jerax.
Oh, nice shots. Jerax, he is going to be okay. Nightfall, he's the one in trouble. Spear back onto the Batrider. Nightfall, he's surviving, but the snowball is there. Gojira, able to take him down. RTZ, he doesn't want this fight. Beast Coast, they're the ones who want to keep going as Chris Luck will make the jump in. Jerax targeted, but no crit. Is there with the Bedlam. Chris Luck. Oh, he's gone too far. RTZ, he's going to keep trying. K1 will chase him down. It's a man fight between RTZ and the Bloodseeker, but K1, he'll get away with it as now Abed. He's in big trouble. Gojira with the snowball out. Great shots to lock him in. Abed, he's going to fight back from the low ground. He'll try, but he's going to back off now. He can't do it. Gojira, he'll just keep chasing his K1. He wants the blood. Abed, he's bleeding as he runs away, but is going to be fine. Instead, Beast Coast, they'll get away with a successful team fight, and it's right back to the jungle for them.
They get the kills they need. They do lose their TA. Very early jump in from Chris Luck. Again, no protection from BKB. Makes engaging as the TA very tough, but they built off the back of it. They didn't even have to expend the lasso here on Whisper. They have that option for the next fight if they want to take it. And the side of EG now is being punished for maybe overextending a bit. They will go for the smoke play, though.
Oh, Whisper, he's got the lasso. He's got the tumblers. He'll find Nightfall on that Mars into the cookie setup. There's no TPs coming in to help him out. Nightfall, he's going to try with the spear, but it's not going to be it. Instead, EG, they've smoked up, trying to find a bit of a revenge kill here onto the Batrider. Can they cut him off? Stinger, he'll be the one to break the smoke. Whisper has all the information now to back off, but Jerax, he'll go for a chase, and Stinger is already going to go down. Whisper, can he juke them out? Jerax will have a look around. Brambles off the mark, the tumblers able to get him over the tree line, and Whisper is going to be just fine. In fact, never mind that though, Gojira, he'll be the one to get caught out on the tusk.
It's better him than Whisper. Gojira willing to sacrifice his life just to enable his Batrider to get away. Two nice support kills coming out from EG, sacrificing the Mars. Doesn't feel great. Nightfall's still eventually going to find that blink. It is 50 gold away, and they can start playing around with that initiation on EG's end once that's up. Still the fresh BKB up on Abed as well. 9-second charge ready to go. And look at EG's movement. They are immediately focusing on pressuring the tier 2 top. They could line up for the Roshan if they find this objective into the outpost. And they're cutting off any sort of smoke gank that can happen through holding the top, bottom part of that jungle, just to ensure Beast Coast can't go for a defense.
Look how well they're farming right now, Beast Coast. Like this Bloodseeker, BKB up, Maelstrom up, going for Lincoln's next. It's going to get rather scary, John. In about 5 minutes, this Bloodseeker is going to be a real terror for the side of EG. Do you think they can handle this timing from Beast Coast?
It's tough. I think for EG to hold on to that, they've got to be the aggressors. They have to be able to get initiation before the BKB pops. That's a lot of pressure onto Nightfall with his blink. Does have that blink up though. So if he can get that instant spear arena combination onto, say, the Bloodseeker or TA before the spell immunity's up, then that fight becomes a little bit easier to manage. Beast Coast, same thing. They've got to take initiative. They need to play with the Kisses lasso. They need to get that blink up on Chris Luck along with his BKB, which is flying out, and they've smoked around his timing here.
But they have into the mid lane. BC will move in. Chris Luck on the front lines. Smoke broken by Gojira. Crit does break the smoke here onto Beast Coast. He does get slowed up. He's still fine. Big Arena. Nightfall in the backside. He's got the Bat Rider. Whisper's gone already. Gojira, he'll be the next one of the chopping block, as they should be able to take him down surely on this task. And eventually, well, he's trying to juke them out. In the meantime, Nightfall. What a spear out. Real blind there from Chris Luck. Trying to TP in the tree line, but it was not enough. Nightfall with the Spidey senses is going to find him, and now they've got the stuns out. They've got the control. Another spear down to the low ground, and Chris Luck, he's down.
Yeah, that's a bit of a toughie. They did try to force aggression out with those item timings, which is what Beast Coast needed to do. You know, they just pick up these BKBs. They want to find the angles. They don't find the good angle they want. They already had this forward board on the high ground. Their smoke breaks, and they don't manage to gap close and catch any heroes. The supports were also there to immediately break that smoke. They just didn't find the right opportunity to use any of these big pickups. Losing those big heroes, and they still have the net worth lead. Just feels like every single win that EG finds, it just delays the game further and further for Beast Coast.
And they're going to find another Stinger. Going to drop as Jerax sets up another kill on the Shadow Demon. They might just go right after Roshan now. I mean, I don't know if they quite have the damage here on EG to get it done. It'll definitely be a slow process. In fact, never mind, they won't. They'll ignore it for now. I suppose as long as East Coast aren't the ones taking it, EG are happy, because you are against the TA Bloodseeker. They are naturally going to be the ones that want to move in and take that Roshan first.
And they're not in position to do so. They've been losing these engagements. Their top jungle's completely warded up by EG. Their warding game in this past series has been great. They had a lot of offensive wards in game 1. Same thing here in game 2. Top jungle under their complete control. Laning ward by the tier 2 as well. So they spot all the movements out from Beast Coast whenever they want to get something done. And they just manage to avoid these big engagements. They drop a couple of heroes here and there. You're still keeping up in farm somewhat with Abed and Arteezy.
Rupture's there. Nightfall, he's been caught out. K1, he'll move in with the BKB. Nightfall, he just has to stand there and take it. And then he will. K1 able to take the kills. They might look for a bit more now. Stinger having a chase around with the Force Staff is going to go after Jerax's Gojira. Does land the snowball, and that should be a second. Jerax to drop. East Coast, they might be able to rush for Roshan if they want. Chris Luck's already...
Yep, they've got the damage to deal with it, even without the full Deso up in the TA. Minus Armor still racking up.
Terrorized. It's going to land on one. In fact, it was two. The Bloodseeker going to have to go for a run as well as Chris Luck. And he'll go finish it off. There's no play here for EG. They have no one who can blink in and try to snatch it away instead. Down to the bot lane. Arteezy, he'll set up onto Whisper, but look how fast this Bat Rider is. He's not going anywhere. In fact, he's going right back in onto Arteezy. Laguna's there from Arbet. Arteezy, he'll Phantasm. Armlet Toggle, try to survive, but Chris Luck, he's got the damage. He'll take him out.
It's a lot of skirmishes across the map. Really great movement out from Chris Luck to back them up. And Whisper seeing that opportunity. Already having the drum boots up, the little boots of bearing, having all that move speed, having the charges every single time come up when it's ready. And they've got that timing now on Beast Coast, despite a little bit of a back and forth in the first 15 minutes. You know, it did look like EG was finally rushing their way. In the end, their draft is a little bit greedier. You have a CK, you have a Lean, and both of these heroes do need farm beyond just the early BKBs. And see that last sort of engagements there as well.
Are fortified.
You see the replay there as Crit is taking out the Tusk by himself. Zarbet was just trying to focus down K1, but he BKBs and TPs out of there, back towards the fountain. Meanwhile, towards the left side, they've got the Snapfire. Another nice support kill set up by Nightfall. Stinger, he'll try for the Force Staff away, but it's not going to work out for him in EG. They're going to keep trying to pressure these structures. The top tier 2 tower now, but Beast Coast, they'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side of the map.
Managing to take that tier 2 bot just with Chris Luck alone. So they are making great use of the edges, just avoiding some of these fights, getting some objectives their way. They're going to have that outpost on bot now, so they're going to have a very safe spot to farm. EG doesn't have anything defensive to watch over this area. And Beast Coast has already surrendered their top jungle anyway. They know it's warded up. They know that's where EG tends to run around. They just avoid, keep that farm game up. The build-up is looking good here for Beast Coast. If we're going into the Mjolnir next, you've already got the Lincolns up for K1. So your Bloodseeker is very well protected in the middle of these fights. It's harder to focus in with a lot of your single target control. on the side of EG. You might be able to waste the charge of Demonic Purge if Jarex isn't careful there as well. So you have a really good timing here on Beast Coast, along with his fresh BKB up for Whisper as well. Like, he's done so much good work on the Bat Rider. Maybe had a bit of a slower lane than you'd want to, taking a lot of resources, requiring that tri-lane. But Boots of Bearing, BKB up, Blink next. You are set to go on Beast Coast to just, again, just rinse and repeat that aggression and start to build up.
On the other end of the things, you do have the BKB now available on Arteezy, so he might want to try and use that to force a fight here. Perhaps a little bit too early though. Beast Coast, they're the ones trying to get aggressive once again. Into that Radiant Triangle they go. Whisper setting up along with the snap. They've held down Crit. Eventually Crit will just drop. As Chris Luck able to take another kill on the TA, and they're right into that mid-tier 2 tower. They've got the Aegis up. There's just nothing to be afraid about here for Beast Coast. They should be able to get a very important tower here in the mid lane.
Radiant are scanning.
Yep, not much stopping from the side of EG. They're just focusing on trying to top. Oh.
That was a deny from Jerax. Using the old illusions.
Sneaky. Did he manage to keep that shove in top as well? So Nightfall just ensuring that the top is going to be under pressure, for maybe forcing a response out. Is forced to TP home. They've got the arena ready, and high ground hold from EG's not the worst thing in the world, so they could try to force something out here.
They could try. It's still a very rough affair as Nightfall is not going to land the spear. Nice blink away from Chris Luck. That's going to be about enough here for Beast Coast. They'll back their way out. There's just no stress for this side right now. No need to rush. 9k advantage. You don't want to throw that away against EG. They'll back off. EG, now the pressure builds up. You lose this game, there's no tiebreakers. You are going to the airport. A lot of pressure here for EG to try and make a comeback.
They've got to find a way. Nightfall?
Yeah, bot side, Nightfall, nice setup with the arena. They'll find Stinger again. K1 and Whisper, they still want to fight. Nightfall running with the Rupture is going to get disrupted up. K1 moving in. Oh, the Shard's out, going to block the way. Now the lasso, Nightfall, Jerax, they're both already gone. Chris Luck, he can have their way with them. EG are falling apart here down the bot lane. Arteezy, he's going to try and fight back. He's got Whisper down. He'll keep going, but K1's got him. In fact, Whisper, or Chris Luck, he'll go after Abed for the final piece of the puzzle. Abed's going to get away, but they are onto the mid-racks once again here for Beast Coast.
And Beast Coast just really working the angles while they see the commitment from the arena just to find the support, not the big kill that EG needs. And they know you suddenly miss out on a lot of that AoE control. Go in for the racks right after. Clearing them out doesn't take too long with the TA with a full Deso up. And that's going to be 2 set of racks. They're protected from mega creeps with a tier 1 top. But EG now are in a very tough position. They need this win, Mike, to force tiebreakers. And of course, Beast Coast wouldn't want to play them. Wouldn't want to play those tiebreakers. So they're looking hard for that win. They've come back reinvigorated for this game too.
And you saw the happy faces there on Beast Coast, looking very, very confident now with the 12k net worth advantage. 1 racks up. It's a hard game to throw here for Beast Coast, that's for sure. EG, I mean, tell me, John, what do they do now? How do you come back in this game number 2?
This is the point where you try to stall this game out. Try to build up on your Lina, try to get some more farm on your CK, hit those level spikes, hit those talent spikes that make them really, really strong as well. And just hold on to the high ground. You still have really good team fight with the arena and the follow through with the Dark Willow. The combination is still really good. You've got great single target hold. You've got a great dispel in the Demonic Purge. But I think you have to really be cautious as to when you use that arena on Nightfall. If he only catches the supports, Beast Coast will always know it's an opportunity for them to start fighting back.
Well, immediately they want to go after Nightfall, but he is going to TP out. Not risking it against that Bat Rider. It's going to be just fine. They really cannot afford to drop any bodies right now on the side of EG. Beast Coast, though, again, more than happy to keep going after towers at the moment. It's EG. They'll group up. They've got to stay as a unit, but they don't have the net worth to really fight back. They've got to find single pickoffs, and Beast Coast, they are not giving those openings. They are staying as 5, and that's the way to do it when you've got a net worth lead like this. You just never need to split up and give that opening.
Yeah, you can just keep going, keep running them down. You know you've got the items in every core. Your ults are all up. There's no need to really split push and kind of get the map efficiency up. You just kind of shut out EG. Don't give them openings, as you said, and try to close the game up. You don't have Aegis. You might want to wait for next rush. There is that DD up on Chris Luck, though. So RTA hits like a truck if they want to just commit here, and it's not going to take too long to rip through objectives and heroes if they do find them.
Be the last team fight if EG aren't too careful up this top lane.
A mysterious
Not many buybacks available right now.
Oh,
Only
Nightfall.
Crit and Arbed as Nightfall is going to jump in, but the Rupture again going to lock him down through the BKB. He'll put the shield up, try to survive in the arena, but they are chasing him down. Nightfall, he has no choice but to die. No buyback available on the Mars. And Beast Coast, they've got 50 seconds with a 4v5 situation here to go high ground. We'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah, and they popped the DD, tier 2 tower falls. Nightfall was trying to go in for a spear. He missed, and yeah, I mean, he's taking these risky plays, Mike. You know, he's trying to break open an opportunity for EG. But if, again, when it doesn't work out, Beast Coast are always ready to punish. Like, we've seen it multiple times. You jump Schofield, you try to take Stinger on the snap and just burst down to support with Arena. Your TA, your Bat Rider has free reign. You've got the Snowball save out as well, and aggression coming through here from Gojira. It's tough. EG, it feels like they're so reliant on Nightfall to find those openings, and every time it falls flat, the follow-through, there's not much that can be done.
Oh, Evil Geniuses, here we go. 4-man smoke up. They are split up this time around, so Beast Coast, they might give away a kill or two if they're not too careful. They've got to play defensive now. Stinger, he might be the one to break the smoke, and EG, they're desperate for anything. They might just take the snapfire. Gojira, he might run into them, but no, he's in position to break the smoke. In fact, now a counter smoke out. Beast Coast gonna run right into Jerax. Shards around, Rupture's there. Jerax almost blown up. A disruption is gonna save. Instead, they want Arteezy. He'll take down the Tusk immediately, but Arteezy, he has to fight K1. It's not a great fight for him. He's already gone. In we go with Nightfall, trying to salvage this situation, but it's not gonna work out as Chris Luck in the backside. He's got Arbet. This isn't looking good for EG. They've got no buybacks available. Onto the Mars they go. They might just have to call it.
It's looking tough for the high ground defense, Mike. Really big fight once more for Beast Coast. EG trying to force these angles, trying to look for those openings. Can't find them. Beast Coast playing a lot cleaner compared to game one, sticking together as that unit. The response is always there when someone shows up from EG. And now they've got that opportunity to gun for the last two set of racks. Top being melted through by K1. Whisper just shoving in the bot enter. They've got Chris Luck, and he doesn't care. You know, he knows his scores can be up anytime soon. Go for the safe play. Roshan gonna be up in half a minute. If they don't go for the end game here, they could just go for Aegis first and come back.
So much damage available on Chris Luck. Rax just is not going to last at all. Like you said, John, you've got the safer play in the Roshan in 15 seconds. EG, they'll be left with one lane. They are not out of this game yet. They're not out of the range yet, but they're 25k behind. And with this next Roshan to go away of Beast Coast, it's hard to see them losing that next team fight. EG, they're smoke up. I don't think they can allow the next Roshan to go away of Beast Coast. You've got to try and force this fight. You almost make it impossible if you don't get Aegis.
Yeah, they need it so badly, and they know how fast Beast Coast can take it. So they're going to need to force that fight out, try to catch a big hero. They need to catch someone with the Arena Spear. It's been tough for Nightfall, but if he finds that opening...
Well, there it is. Oh, quick snowball out. Gojira gonna force the waste of the arena as now Nightfall's in big trouble. He'll BKB up. They do at least find a Tusk in the end, but it's not looking good for him. Chris Luck takes down the Mars. Crit's gone. Arteezy's gone. EG, they might just be gone. Arbet's called it. They are out of the major, and Beast Coast, they will proceed without having to go through tiebreakers.
Oh man, I mean, what a game coming out from Beast Coast. When you look at the team, you look at what happened, you look at the draft, you look at those small mistakes. The nerves were there for sure. And they come out of that game one, they understand, look, we're not out of it yet. We still have one more game. EG is the one who has to play. We shouldn't be scared. We
Crunchy!
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I owe you one.
Novelty. Look at it go!
Oh god, no, but no, it's nice
Radiant's
to
top
have everyone
tower is under attack.
in the same spot again. Yeah. I think even when we had kind of then come back onto a panel or something, you're like, oh, guy, you know, the Gladiators guys, you know, they're like screaming or something. I don't know. It's just hype. I don't know. I just like having everyone back, pretty much.
Yeah, I think most people do. I also think that the group stages were probably the Valhalla for.
This is how it ends?
Eyes ain't everything, huh?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bounty!
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bad medicine. Maybe I'll have a nap.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
Now, dying. Make a hedge from my stone.
Have shovel, will bury. You.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
kids, huh?
Soak it in! You darken my eyes.
That was fun!
Well, a real killer on the loose.
Welcome into the Earth!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just a few more games that need to be played in the group stages for the
Radiant's
Stockholm
structures are
Major.
fortified.
Or maybe we'll be
Radiant's
burning the
bottom
midnight
tower is
oil,
under attack.
depending on the results, because I don't think this has ever happened before, but there is a potential for a six-way tie in the
Radiant's
group
bottom tower
B
is falling.
for the Major. I'm here with Lacoste and T-Gov, and we're going to start off by looking at the
Oh, yeah! That's the good stuff!
Blood in the flame. Killing spree. Ownage. This reward.
actually seems pretty likely.
Yeah, very reasonable to say that this might be a tie, because both of these teams, they look good. They had their like ups and downs, I would say. Against certain teams, they just do perform better. And looking at how these two teams could match up against each other, because like Gaming Gladiators, they haven't been playing LAN. This is their first LAN ever. Not for Ace, but for other players, yes. So, you know, they're doing much better, I would say. Like, they're doing much better than I expected, because sometimes you get there, this is not your mouse sensitivity, you can't really play, cold hands, whatever, there's like slacks interrupting you. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to focus, but so far so good. Fnatic, they have more LAN experience, and yeah, I feel like this could be 1-1.
Yeah, let's focus our attention a little bit more on Fnatic, because yeah, they do have a lot of LAN experience between them. I will also want to take this moment to shout out Jabs for being the first player ever in the history of Dota and Dota 2 to have played a major or an international as every single role. He's played position 1, 2, now 3, and 4, and 5. And I mean, that's crazy. And he's doing it at such a high level too, T.
Yeah, as I said, that's the main thing. The consistency of performance in each role when he has changed. It's like, you know, fair play. You know, he's done it pretty well. But even on the current roster, playing in the off lane, it's not like it's been a bit weird. It's been great to see. Honestly, when coming into this, I thought Fnatic would do a bit better. I kind of expected them maybe to be like what Tundra's doing in Group A. Maybe they could have done that in Group B. Unfortunately, have tied a couple more games. But no, overall, still incredibly solid performance, and just trying to find that rhythm to convert that second win, to get away, escape from the draws. It's kind of been the story of the group stage so far.
They want to escape from the draws. They want to make it deep into the tournament, because they want to face not just their opponents in Dota, but they want to face the crowd. They want to feel those vibrations. Let's hear it from DJ himself.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time since we had a LAN tournament for Dota 2, and it's been really exciting for me, because I had a lot of experience where I play LAN and there's the crowd is just like so good, like especially here in Stockholm. The crowd here is really nice, and I'm really looking forward to playing in the playoffs with the crowd.
Yeah, we are all looking forward to having that crowd back in an arena. It has been far too long, and you gotta get there, though. It's the final 3 days that get that experience, that get to play in front of a crowd. And of course, Fnatic would love to be there. But it's a long route. Same thing can be said for Gaimin Gladiators. They haven't ever performed on a LAN, let alone in front of a crowd. And to be honest, you kind of gotta experience that at least once before you, like, let's say they make it to TI. That shouldn't be your first time playing in front of a crowd, because that just gives extra pressure.
Yeah, I'd say it's extra pressure, but also I think you see the main man here, Celery. It's on him as well, because at the major, they don't have their coach with them in person. It's more of an online situation where they're going to, doing calls after the series and stuff. So Celery, even in the tournament pre-major, he's stepping more into kind of the drafting role, kind of taking more of the kind of post-game conversation leadership.
Yeah.
And to have to do that for a major, and one in which you are performing so well at that you potentially could be up a bracket even onto main stage, it's just the added layers of it is your first time at an international event and then all that. So I think mad respect that they've been able to perform so well when their support system isn't, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
I mean, they have this PMA mentality, having Celery, who reached 11k MMR with the position 5. He's stable. Like, it definitely takes a lot of effort to be able to do it from position 5. And Tofu, he's like a spiritual leader to me. Like, it's something about him.
Tofu, big fan.
Keanu Reeves, meet Stevie Aoki, meet any kind of shampoo brand, really.
He's the next one. He's going to get hit up by some sponsors after this, for sure.
There must be. It's been smiles all around from Gaimin Gladiators, for sure. Also from Dairatcho, who we caught up with earlier today.
Me personally feeling super fine. I mean, I'm funny, I'm happy. We're gonna play versus Fnatic. I hope we're gonna beat them or just do our best. So I feel we are good. Yesterday rough games, but yeah, we talk a lot. So I hope gonna be better today. I think our chances is good. We have enough chance. We're not playing bad. We're playing good. I think we just need to think about all this stuff, about drafts, about game plan, follow our game style. Me personally, I'm not scared of anyone. I think we can beat everyone, we can lose everyone, so it doesn't matter.
But can they beat Fnatic? That's the question. Can they tie with Fnatic for our tiebreaker scenarios? That is our question. We're going to find out what's going to happen in this series. We are about ready to start drafting between Gaimin Gladiators and Fnatic, so we'll see you after this. Fnatic taking on Gaimin Gladiators. Both teams having a great record, 6-4. It should be enough, you'd say. And it is enough to stay in the tournament. Everybody in Group E stays in the tournament. But is it enough to make it to the upper bracket? Everybody still has a chance to make it to that upper bracket. We're going to find out which one of these two teams will get themselves a better setup for that. And someone is about to hit the start game button, I believe. Tsunami, what are things... what is going on out there in the player hotel?
I don't know. What would you like to know?
Everything.
Everything. I was a little sad. You skipped me between the last segment. I thought that
Hey,
you
we
wouldn't
were
need
running
me.
out of time, you know?
We were running out of time, and then the group
Okay,
stage
you
is
heard it
ending,
here.
everything.
Tsunami is the one that normally delays the game.
That is
It's
actually
true.
really true, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the lobby king, actually. We got Gaimin Gladiators over here. They are actually, I got some bad news for them. They're in EG's booth, so don't really know about that. So, you know, that's all you need to know from me. What you need to know is what heroes are going to get picked. Let's get to the draft.
Well, let's go to the draft. Oh, look at that. We already got ourselves an opening. Gaimin Gladiators will start on the Dire side with first pick, and therefore Fnatic will have second pick and, more importantly, overall last pick on the Radiant side. I'm here, of course, still with Lacoste and T-Gov. And an opening IO from Gaimin Gladiators. T, this is a hero they are incredibly comfortable with.
Yeah, incredibly good at it as well. Of course, Celery, wanting to play it, enabling it, which is a little bit different because, of course, most teams, they put it on their 4-player and they go more aggressive with it. But Celery, being the 5, he's the one off. Their own identities into it. Again, varying success, but still, like, credit that they...
We had interview with Celery. I think he kept the tower alive for like 5 heroes to try to bring it down. They couldn't. So you definitely need some. CK is going to help with that, but I'd say a very different opener like from Fnatic, especially this Templar Assassin first phase. It's very... because what people have been doing recently is trying to go for damage reduction, whether we're talking about Rubik's Fate Bolt, Breathe Fire, Shield Crash, Underlord Ulti, Wraith Pact, and now we have like Refraction plus the Living Armor, just making heroes almost unkillable.
I like as well, in regards to the rise of Tree, I think we've seen it like 13 times so far at the Major, mainly from the C teams, but you know, a sprinkle of Europe is trying out as well. But very much, to beat Tree, it's, I think, less about the lane that you're playing into, but more offsetting the other core matchups. If you're able to crush the other lanes and then you overwhelm, bring in like 4 or 5 heroes to the lane that Tree's trying to protect, you can skip behind the tower, remove him from that defensive position, then kill it off through the living armor. So there are games where Tree can go 18-20 minutes keeping every tower alive, but that's the games where the Tree team's able to win or go even in every lane because the value of Tree goes up. So I'm looking at Gladiators at continuing to pick strong lanes to then be able to have that 10-minute catapult wave and break down the map correctly against the Tree and Protector.
Yeah, generally you'd expect Gaimin Gladiators to be the one to know exactly what to do against the Tree and Protector, as they are one of the few teams to play quite a bit.
Exactly, and the power of the Tree lies in being able to hold, especially if you're playing from behind, just being able to delay the game, very elusive. Like you see Tree and Protector there using vines to try to stop the push. You waste your time, you kill him, but the carry is getting the farm and also just pumping out that living armor on the towers.
I'm just loving these bans from Fnatic. They're like, all right, let's not give Gladiators the easy way to hit our towers, boys, all right? Less rack ban, DP ban. I also think potentially like a Pango ban could be pretty good, just because that Rolling Thunder, cutting into the trees, trying to find where Tree is pre-50 minute when he's of course invisible with the shard, but just that ability to take the earlier fights can offset it. Sure, Overgrowth does pretty well against the Pango, but yeah, I feel Gladiators, they just want to be so aggressive. If it goes into like a stalemate, it's so hard. TA's just farming the triangle, Tree's defending the tower. No, I'm just a big fan of Tree. It's It's a real boring hero, but it's so good at the same time.
Also, one of the reasons that we didn't mention it is you can have 2 living armors coming into the fight on 2 different heroes. So extra armor, extra regeneration. It's very difficult to fight into it, and he needs 1 item. Like, this hero just needs 1 item to be able to play the game. That's the Blink Dagger, to be able to go in with the Overgrowth and counter-initiate.
On the pushing heroes.
Oh, the old school combo.
Nice. Oh, it's been. Wait, have we seen
the combination of Tree Phoenix?
Amanda Gander.
Coming out from Fnatic? I don't think so. No, I don't see any
Not
Phoenixes.
from Fnatic. No, this is their first Phoenix game. You are correct.
I think this is the first Tree Phoenix game at the Major as well. With my quick glance down the notes, yeah, I think this is the first Tree Phoenix. And that's a classic because, of course, the Overgrowth covers the egg as well. Tree and Protector naturally with the shard, going invisible, then getting a Blink Dagger. You're always able to kind of surprise and cover. So it's just, yeah, it's so defensive as well in regards to Gaimin Gladiators. With an IO type lineup, they want to quickly run in and try and punish you. If you run up into like a tri-camp, the vision from the TA with the traps, it's so easy for Fnatic to get that the spells off.
They go with the more stuns, more initiation on their side to be able to go on a target, lock onto it, and then CK just destroys it. They needed something to be able to deal with the Phoenix Egg, because like CK Dragonite, these type of heroes, like, yeah, IO's gonna provide you some attack speed, but having Snapfire on the team makes things a lot easier. And also to add up, it's just a hero that plays with the Dragonite. We see Dragonite always paired up with like Hoodwink, Skywrath Mage, and in this case, Snapfire.
Yeah, if I was Gladiators, I'd think of rounding out the draft with potentially like an Invoker mid, unless this is going to be some quirky snap mid, but...
Yeah, because you want some like Spirit Vessel Carrier to be able to reduce the healing coming out from Phoenix and the living armor.
The Alacrity as well provides some extra fight. Could be an option for Gladiators, but yeah, right now, this Phoenix, of course, still very good, but the value has gone down a little bit because the little Shredder, like we just mentioned. And for Gladiators, I think my concern for them is simply the DK Blink Stun, there isn't that explosive damage. So when you see Phoenix under a ward, unless it's CK and DK both killing the hero, Mortimer Kisses won't be enough to get the kill. Maybe in the earlier stages game it could, but as it scales up, the Phoenix Egg will most likely get off due to that, the support duo not helping out too much. Yeah. So that final pick, like I mentioned, like this Invoker, for example, a Cataclysm, Sunstrike, if you ever see Phoenix pre-Aeon Disc, it's going to be a kill. And they need that from the mid lane, an additional bit of damage.
Well, first, Fnatic needs a new hero on the board, and they're taking quite heavily into their bonus time. They've got quite a bit of team fight coming out of them already, with, of course, Disable and Overgrowth. In a way, it's not really a stun. But what kind of... I bet they're looking for their offlaner right about now. What kind of offlaner we're looking for? There you go. Offlaner offers control, more team fight again as well with the Brewmaster.
Yeah, it's one of the better heroes to disrupt the backlines, and especially because like Phoenix, Treant, Templar Assassin, they don't want to like find this Snapfire in the backlines because they're gonna have a trouble getting through, because CK Dragonite as your front line gonna be a bit too much, I would say. So Brewmaster with the split can isolate Snapfire, so there's not gonna be Mortimer's Kisses a lot of the times, and also being able to like cyclone one guy. Very annoying. They do have like 2 stuns, but there are no silences on Gaimin Gladiators, and with all the beefiness behind him, whether we're talking about the living armor or the stun rate, like this Brewmaster, he's gonna get the split off in the fights.
It kind of follows up on the point I made about the DK stun. What's that follow-up explosive damage? Now we see as well. I think it was maybe T1 when they had Brewmaster recently. He just rushed Aeon Disc. Maybe it was Boom, I can't remember. But either way, it's like you do this like first item Aeon Disc, and you just position yourself on the high ground. You're tanking the smokes. As it like activates and you kind of get initiated on, you always get the split off. And I'm a little bit worried for Gaimin Gladiators now that even if they come out ahead in the lanes, the value of the first ultimates of Fnatic, if used in conjunction together in the same area, it might just be kind of the undoing of their ability to play the map early.
I think the Invoker ban that you mentioned should come out from Fnatic, either that or secure like a Void Spirit to be able to cut into backlines and also deal with both of the supports on Fnatic. They do ban Anti-Mage. So that's a pretty interesting one. They did play one offlane anti-mage game on Gaimin Gladiators.
They have played DK mid so far on Gaimin Gladiators. So potentially they're thinking that, you know, the CK is flexing between carry offlane, DK flexing between offlane mid. So they're just trying to... There's so much flexibility right now with the final 2 picks from Gladiators that they're like, okay, let's just ban out kind of the gotcha.
Could it tell us anything about what they're planning for their last pick? Because of course the Templar Assassin, they can play mid, they can play it safe, and they might still want to go for something like a Storm for themselves.
I think they're just respecting the flexibility and also the lack of pressure their heroes would give to an anti-mage. An offlane Brew, the support combo of Tree Phoenix, you buy a Manta, you're kind of brushing off the big team fight from Fnatic, right?
They ban out the Invoker themselves.
Interesting. All right. I guess, well, that kind of does lead towards more mid DK.
They also need like a Spirit Vessel carrier. They have CK, IO, and Dragonite. You would definitely love to have someone who can build into it.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I guess that's an indicator of just the DK being most likely the mid lane, right? It is flexing the CK between offlane and carry for Gaimin Gladiators. Again, pretty cool. I like it when teams actually have multiple layers of flexibility when they go towards their last pick. Fnatic, their answer to that is just, it's just a robust looking lineup. One more ban.
One more ban. Will be a mid ban, carry ban, another carry ban in the lifestealer.
They just want to make sure this value of the overgrowth and the egg is super high value.
Instant Ember, and Boom's Ember is a very good one.
There's not much lockdown.
Nope.
Very elusive. The only lockdown they got pretty much is Train Protector ulti, and you do not want to initiate with that. So they need some kind of stun silence. I mean, there is Void Spirit that I mentioned. There's also Puck. There's not too much stuff that Puck is worried about, just to be able to tie them together. So I think one of these 2 options, that Prophet, yeah, she's banned out.
Yeah. Death Frost banned, of course, Armel's Coddles, first phase banned.
I think the main question is, are they going to put the TA mid or into the safe lane? And from there, again, they have like 10 seconds left.
Yeah, they got to make that decision. No pressure, a little bit of pressure from the clock, of course.
Oh, the old school counter to Ember Spirit. Yeah, I haven't seen the matchup in a while, but it was always Necrophos heavily favored. Like, you can stand on his high ground and Ember can't really do much. You're going to be able to right-click him down, and against these 2 beefy boys, Aura's going to do a lot. But this is not the, like, stun silence that... also, like, their burst damage. If they want to use Reaper Sight on someone, there's no real follow-up damage to it.
Yeah, this is a game for Gladiators, but it's all eyes on Boom, honestly. The way that he needs to play to carry Necro as well, how he needs to play this game is super in the face of his opponent. He needs for that. So it's very much Gladiators. They need to play around this Ember perfectly. Fnatic, if they're not impatient, if they're not scared about this type of play.
It looks like we got Necrophos on the safe lane and Templar Assassin still mid.
Yep.
And how does the TA versus Ember go?
It's farm.
Yeah.
TA's pretty chill. Yeah.
Both chill?
I want to see the build from Boom.
Okay.
It's a very good Ember Spirit game. I know it's not an item that Ember Spirit players wants to get, but I think it's a really, really good Spirit Vessel game for him. Sometimes you need to think outside of the box against Necro, Phoenix, and the Train Protector. It does kind of shut down your scaling a little bit, but we'll have to see. I'm down for it, because like your Snapfire also does not want to build into it, because she wants to keep the distance. So not one of those position 4s that want to go in. Fnatic, they have a disgusting draft. Like it's
We need to get Slacks in there to start telling some people off, tell them to start the damn game. Of course, a lot of SEA fans probably in the chat right now saying the exact same thing. Of course, there you see Gaimin Gladiators, beautiful people, Jonathan. We talked about it earlier. They've got Steve Aoki playing for them now. It's the Aoki buff, Jonathan. These guys look fantastic in the earlier series I got to cast for them. They're in the middle of the pack right now, but they're a very, very scary team. There he is. There's the man right.
It's very because what people have been doing recently is trying to go for damage reduction, whether we're talking about Rogue's Fable, Breathe Fire, Shield Crash, Underlord Ulti, Wraith Pact, and now we have like Refraction plus the Living Armor, just making heroes almost unkillable.
I like as well, in regards to the rise of Tree, I think we've seen it like 13 times at the major, mainly from the C teams, but a sprinkle of Europe is trying out as well. But very much to beat Tree, it's I think less about the lane that you're playing into, but more offsetting other core matchups. If you're able to crush the other lanes and then you overwhelm, bringing like 4 or 5 heroes to the lane that Tree's trying to protect, you can skip behind the tower, remove him from that defensive position, then kill it off through the living armor. So there are games where Tree can go 18-20 minutes keeping every tower alive, but that's the games where the Tree team's able to win or go even in every lane because the value of big goes up. So I'm looking at Gladiators at continuing to pick strong lanes to then be able to have that 10-minute catapult wave and break down the map correctly against the Tree Protector.
Generally, you'd expect Gaimin Gladiators to be the one to know exactly what to do against the Tree Protector, as they are one of the few teams to play quite a bit.
Exactly, and the power of the Tree lies in being able to hold, especially if you're playing from behind, just being able to delay the game, very elusive. Like you see Tree Protector there using vines to try to stop the push. You waste your time, you kill him, but the carry is getting the farm and also just pumping out that living armor on the towers.
I'm just loving these bans from Fnatic. They're like, all right, let's not give Gladiators the easy way to hit our towers, boys, all right? Less Shrek ban, DP ban. I also think potentially like a Pango ban could be pretty good, just because that rolling thunder, cutting into the trees, trying to find where Tree is 50 minutes when he's of course invisible with the shard, but just that ability to take the earlier fights can offset it. Sure, Overgrowth does pretty well against the Pango, but yeah, I feel they just want to be so aggressive. If it goes into like a stalemate, it's so hard. TA is just farming the triangle, Tree's defending the tower. No, I'm just a big fan of Tree. It's
Fnatic's turn to pick.
It's a real boring hero, but it's good at the same time.
Also, one of the reasons that we didn't mention different heroes. Generation, it's very difficult to fight into it, and he needs one item. Like this hero just needs one to be able to win the game. That's the Blink Dagger, to be able to go in with the Overgrowth and counter-initiate.
5 seconds remaining.
And the Fire ban was a Beastmaster, so they do go 3 for 3 on the pushing heroes.
Oh, the old combo.
Nice. Oh, it's been. Wait, have we seen
the combination of Tree Phoenix?
Again.
Coming up from Fnatic? I don't think so. No, I don't see any Phoenixes.
Not from Fnatic. No, this is their first Phoenix game. You are correct.
I think this is the first Tree Phoenix game at the major as well. With my quick glance down the notes, yeah, I think it's first Tree Phoenix, and that's a classic because, of course, the Overgrowth covers the egg as well. Tree and Protector actually with the shard going invisible, then getting a Blink Dagger. You're always able to kind of surprise and cover. So it's just it's so defensive as well in regards to aiming Gladiators. Like with an eye to line up, they want to quickly run in and try and punish you. If you run up into like Tricamp, the vision for the TA with the traps, it's so easy for Fnatic to get the spells off.
They go with the more stunts, more initiation on their side to be able to go on a target, lock onto it, and then CK just destroys it. They needed something to be able to deal with the Phoenix Egg, because like CK Dragonite, these type of heroes, like, yeah, Io's going to provide you some attack speed, but having Snapfire on the team makes things a lot easier. And also to add up, it's just a hero that plays with the Dragonite. We see Dragonite always paired up with like Hoodwink, Skyrat Mage, and in this case, Snapfire.
Yeah, if I was Gladiators, I think of rounding out the draft with potentially like an Invoker mid, unless this is going to be some quirky Snap mid, but...
Yeah, because you want some like Spirit Vessel Carrier to be able to reduce the healing coming out from Phoenix and the Living Armor.
The Alacrity as well, provide some extra fire. Could be an option for Gladiators, but yeah, right now, this Phoenix, of course, still very good, but the value has gone down a little bit because the little Shredder, like we just mentioned. And for Gladiators, I think my concern for them is simply the DK Blink Stun there isn't that explosive damage. So when you see Phoenix under a ward, unless it's CK and DK both killing the hero, Mortimer Kisses won't be enough to get the kill. Maybe in the earlier stages of the game it could, but as it scales up, the Phoenix egg will most likely get off due to that, the support duo not helping out too much. So that final pick, like I mentioned, like to Invoker, for example, a Cataclysm, Sunstrike, if you ever see Phoenix pre-Aeon Disc, it's going to be a kill. And they need that from the mid lane, an additional bit of damage.
Well, first, Fnatic needs a new hero on the board, and they're taking quite heavily into their bonus time. They've got quite a bit of team fight coming out of them already, with of course Disable and Overgrowth, in a way, not really a stun. But what kind of I bet they're looking for their offlaner right about now. What kind of offlaner we're looking for? There you go. Offlaner offers control, more team fight again as well with the Brewmaster.
Yeah, it's one of the better heroes to disrupt the backlines, and especially because like Phoenix, Treant, Templar Assassin, you don't want to like find this Snapfire in the backlines because they're gonna have a trouble getting through, because CK Dragonite as your front line gonna be a bit too much, I would say. So Brewmaster with the split can isolate Snapfire, so there's not gonna be Mortimer's Kisses a lot of the time, and also being able to like cyclone one guy. Very annoying. They do have like 2 stuns, but there are no silences on Gaming Gladiators, and with all the beefiness behind him, but we're talking about the Living Armor or the Sun Ray, like this Brewmaster, he's gonna get the split off in the fights.
Kind of follows up on the point I made about the DK stun. What's that follow-up explosive damage? Now we see it as well. I think it was maybe T1 when they had Brewmaster recently. He just rushed Aeon Disc. Maybe it was Boom, I can't remember, but either way, it's like you do this like first item Aeon Disc, and you just position yourself on the high ground, tanking the smokes. As it like activates and you kind of get initiated on, you always get the split off. And I'm a little bit worried for Gaming Gladiators now that even if they come out ahead in the lanes, the value of the first ultimates of Fnatic, it used in conjunction together in the same area, it might just be kind of the undoing of their ability to play the map early.
10 seconds remaining.
I think the Invoker ban that you mentioned should come out from Fnatic, either that or secure like a Void Spirit to be able to cut into backlines and also deal with both of the supports on Fnatic. They do ban Anti-Mage. So that's a pretty interesting one. They did play one offlane Anti-Mage game on Gaming Gladiators.
They have played DK mid so far on Gaming Gladiators. So potentially they're thinking that, you know, the CK is flexing between carry offlane, DK flexing between offlane mid. So they're just trying to... There's so much flexibility right now with the final 2 picks from Gladiators that they're like, okay, let's just ban out kind of the gotcha.
Could it tell us anything about what they're planning for their last pick? Because of course the for Assassin, they can play mid, they can play it safe, and they might still want to go for something like a Storm for themselves.
I think they're just respecting the flexibility and also the lack of pressure their heroes would give to an anti-mage. An off-lane Brew, the support combo of Tree Phoenix, you buy a Manta, you're kind of brushing off the big team fight from Fnatic, right?
They ban out the Invoker themselves.
Interesting. All right. I guess, well, that kind of does lead towards more mid-DK.
They also need like a Spirit Vessel carrier. They have CK, IO, and Dragonite. You would definitely love to have someone who can build into
10
it.
seconds remaining.
I guess that's an indicator of just the DK being most likely the mid lane, right? It is flexing the CK between offlane and carry for Gaming Gladiators. Again, pretty cool. I like it when teams actually have multiple layers of flexibility when they go towards their last pick. Fnatic, their answer to that is just, it's just a robust looking lineup. One more ban.
One more ban. Will be a mid ban, a carry ban, another carry ban in the lifestealer.
They just want to make sure there's value of the overgrowth and the egg is super high value.
Instant Ember, and Boom's Ember is a very good one.
There's not much lockdown.
Nope.
Very elusive. The only lockdown they got pretty much is Train Protector ulti, and you do not want to initiate with that. So they need some kind of stun silence. I mean, there is a Void Spirit that I mentioned. There's also Puck. There's not too much stuff that Puck is worried about, just to be able to tie them together. So I think for these 2 options, that Prophet, yeah, she's banned out.
Yeah. Death Frost banned. Of course, Armel's Coddles, first base banned.
I think the main question is, are they going to put the TA mid or into the same lane? And from there, again, they have like 10 seconds left.
They got to make that decision. No pressure, a little bit of pressure from the clock.
The old school counter to Ember Spirit. Yeah, I haven't seen the matchup in a while, but it was always Necrophos heavily favored. Like, you can stand on his high ground and Ember can't really do much. You're going to be able to right-click him down, and against these two beefy boys, Aura's going to do a lot. But this is not the, like, stun silence that... like their burst damage. If they want to use Reaper Sight on someone, there's no real follow-up damage to it.
Yeah, this is a game for Gladiators, but it's all eyes on Boom, honestly. The way that he needs to play to carry Necro as well. How he needs to play this game is super in the face of his opponent. He needs to make this Tree, the Phoenix, even the Brew feel uncomfortable, make them waste a key spell, and then from there, it opens up the initiation of the CK or the DK or the layered ultimate from Snapfire. If they try and just do a clean jump with like DK first, I'm worried that they won't have damage to kill off the Necro, turn around the Sun Ray, the Overgriff, and the Living Armor on top of that. So it's very much Gladiators. They need to play around this Ember perfectly. Fnatic, if they're not impatient, if they're not scared about this type of play, they're going to be able to get some really sick combos off in this game.
It looks like we got Necrophos on the safe lane and Temporary Assassin still mid.
Yep.
And how does the TA versus Ember go?
Farm.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill. Yeah.
Both chill?
I want to see the build from Boom. Okay. It's a very good Ember Spirit game. I know it's not an item that Ember Spirit players want to get, but I think it's a really, really good Spirit Vessel game for him. Sometimes you need to think outside of the box against Necro, Phoenix, and Treant Protector. It does kind of shut down your scaling a little bit, but we'll have to see. I'm for it because, like, your Snapfire also does not want to build into it because she wants to keep the distance, so not one of those position forms that want to go in. Fnatic, they have a disgusting draft. Like it's like a lot of stuff happening with the split and with all these healing, but I'm gonna put more faith in Boom's Ember.
Okay, we're gonna find out how this first game is gonna play itself out together with MLP and Jonix Fire.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are on to our second series here between Fnatic and Game Gladiators, and it is MLP Dota and Jonix Fire. Jonathan, two great drafts coming out from two great teams. How are you feeling before we do get into it?
I'm feeling great. Looking forward to how these teams go, of course. Fnatic going for that overhealing, sort of playing around with the sustain, Treant, Sunray coming out from Phoenix, Necrophos as well up front. Even Necrophos, not something we get to see too often as well, but Gaimin Gladiators with the Boom Ember. Yeah, and the panel mentioned it. He's got to really perform here. Has a lot of options for the itemization. Spirit Vessel does sound really sick, as Lacoste pointed out. So keen to see what direction Boom takes that hero and how well he can enable his team. Because you've got the CK, you've got the DK. You do have some really good single target stuns. But when it comes down to those team fights, Fnatic does look set to control that wider area, control a lot more heroes, and force that issue.
Well, main storyline in this game, one at the very least, is going to be Armel against Boom in the mid lane, right? Like, you talked about Boom on the Ember, one of his signature heroes, one of his best heroes. Then you've got, of course, Armel and one of his signature heroes as well, the TA. How many times have you and I had the pleasure of casting this man on the TA, and he does tend to pull off a real darn good performance? The Ember, Boom, it's going to be rather scary.
Yeah, for sure. Boom just excels on that Ember. Of course, Armel is very comfy in that TA, but he's a very versatile mid-ret. Armel tends to really give the space out for Raven. We don't see them flex too much between Raven and Armel's win conditions.
Yeah.
It's a very rare thing nowadays with Fnatic, right? Like, they tend to give Armel that tempo. Now it's on Raven to be the tempo setter. We're much more used to seeing Raven just farm up, play with his TB, play with Medusa, play with those big, slower cores. So I'm keen to see just how well that shift goes for Raven in particular here.
Well, you see Jabs just having a bit of a replacement there with the headset, just getting that sorted before we do go into game number one. Should be going for an unpause very, very soon here between these two teams. Of course, maybe we need to get Slacks in there to start telling some people off, tell them to start the damn game. Of course, a lot of SEA fans probably in the chat right now saying the exact same thing. Of course, there you see Gaimin Gladiators, beautiful people, Jonathan. We talked about it earlier. They've got Steve Aoki playing for them now. It's the Aoki buff, Jonathan. These guys look fantastic in the earlier shoot. I got to cast to them. They're in the middle of the pack right now, but they're a very, very scary team. There he is. There's the man right there, John. Look at him. What a handsome, handsome lad.
That he is. That he is. I still don't know who you're talking about. I have no clue who Steve Aoki is. I have no musical taste.
Right there, John.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. That is Steve Aoki. He's a Dota 2 pro now as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. The Gaimin Gladiators, we'll see what they'll get done. Of course, you are fighting for standings. Group B's real tight right now, John. It's real damn tight. Every game matters. I can't wait to see what happens. Game 1, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to find, I think, a clear 2-0 to break some of those tiebreakers up. If we end up with a bunch of 1-1s, there's some potential for some shenanigans at the end of the day there. So both teams obviously don't want to play into the night, and playoffs kick off immediately right for tomorrow. So you want to be able to just come there, relax, with some time to prep, maybe add a scrim or two into the mix. To get that done, you have to avoid tiebreakers, Mike. So.
Oh, you absolutely do, John. It's very... Oh, Celery, you've got to be careful. Make his way over. There's no lockdown, and that's one thing Kos pointed out on the panel. I think the main issue here for Fnatic with their draft is you're against an Ember Boom as well, and you just don't have any lockdown right now. And you just saw in that instance, they may have been able to jump Celery. Problem is, they don't really have stun.
Yeah, they don't have a solid way of keeping heroes in. They're reliant on Overgrowth, really, the split and the stun and the Cyclone from the Brewmaster come through, and that is going to be an issue. Holding these heroes down, giving yourself a window to get the damage off is going to be tough. They are still looking for that chase, but just going to find themselves the bounty rune trade. We'll see if that's something Gaimin Gladiators can use against them. You know, they are cutting the tree line really nicely down bot. One thing that you'd love to see against Tree and Protectors, of course, is ensure that you can't just walk in and out of that lane, get the aggression going. And it does tend to make the tree lane a lot tougher. You can play on the right side,
whoa.
It's not comfy.
My goodness, the camera angles we're finding here, just fabulous from our observers. Love to see it. It's Gaimin Gladiators moving in. Duraccio to go towards the side of Fnatic as Armel to be able to try and fight over this bounty rune in the mid river. Duraccio, he does have the stun, so it should be a rather hard bounty to try and steal. They won't even bother trying. It was a 3-for-1 trade on those bounties as well, so it's going to be a great start for Gaimin Gladiators. Not so much for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's not going to feel great. Again, this is an issue that will stay on for Fnatic. That lack of control, it's going to be haunted for most of the laning phase. Like, you're going to need level 6s to be able, those are very long cooldowns to expend for the stun aspect, and that's a big window for Gaimin Gladiators. We are taking a look at mid. Armel again on his TA, as we mentioned, along with Boom on his Ember. There's a little bit of back and forth. You can melt through Refraction very easily as the Ember, but you have to watch that physical trade with Armel. Side blades up, just landing them on, makes it pretty tough for the melee farm. It should be a back and forth one. You know, we've seen this lane kind of stabilize, focus in on farm. There are kill opportunities for either side, but that's considering if someone does make a massive misstep in the lane. So if you do play your cards right, it should end up just being farmy for both ends here.
Yeah. Of course, we should have looked at the other lanes as well. Top lane, you're going to see a jump right now onto Gems as DJ was trying to protect. Duraccio and Celery certainly can get very, very aggressive with the CKIO. It's one of those things that you give bonus movement speed and attack speed to CK. With how hard he already hit that base damage, you're going to have to be very careful as Fnatic.
And again, you don't have any way of stopping that aggression. No stuns, no way of threatening. You have decent you can't really do that much.
Well, certainly not. How's that bot lane going? You're going to see Tofu 8, of course, against Gen Ball and Raven. I think the cost also kind of pointed out the POS1 Necro, something you and I don't get to see Raven playing that often. In fact, jabs being very, very low, will be subbed up by GJ. In is going to be fine, but I mean, Gaimin Gladiators, this top lane, already said it, it's very aggressive, it's very scary for Fnatic, and you can see Duraccio, every chance he gets, he wants to try and move in, stun, and here we go again. Jabs, gonna get stunned up, only a 1 second stun though. They'll go for the rift back. Jabs, gotta be very cautious, there's a lot of damage. Celery looking for the block out, and First Blood is gonna go the way of Gaimin. Duraccio able to pick it up, and Boom already tipping Celery from the mid lane.
And that's just some great positioning to look for that opportunity for Gaimin Gladiators. This is something that they should be doing, and they can absolutely bully out the top lane. The bot lane maybe not as much. You're still seeing Johnny Well find the angles. Trees go back really fast now. Sustain coming through from Raven makes it annoying for Ace to work that lane. But if you can get aggression from top, I don't think you mind that the bot lane's slower. It's a necrophobic lane. You don't really expect to win that.
Wait, that's a lot of damage from Armel. Boom, getting him very, very low on that mid lane. So, again, a high kind of skill matchup here in the mid lane. Armel and Boom's top. Jab, again, going to be in a bit of danger. Dyrachyo just not giving him the space, and well, poor old Jabs, only 6 CS right now on the Brewmaster. It's not going to get any easier. This lane, it just keeps getting worse as time goes on.
Yeah, it only gets workable once you hit those level 6s. Once you have the split up, you could maybe threaten, but it does feel like you're going to want another ult on top, maybe threaten with the egg, and try to burn someone down. It could be one way. It's still a massive cooldown to commit. Considering how the lanes are going, I mean, Game Gladiators are just doing really well. They're managing to win out the top lane, they're managing to even out the bot lane. Like, you aren't finding the best CS ace, but he's not lagging behind the Necrophos. And as a Necrophos, you need to dominate that lane. We're not seeing that big dominance out from Raven. He's not giving any openings towards Gaimin to look for the aggression with the double stun.
Yeah, DJ just gets a new one. Dyrachyo just tears him apart. No real contest. Celery, he'll be the one to take the kill, but it's such a rough offlane for Fnatic. How do you come from that? I mean, Jabs gonna have to find to get some farm going on this Brewmaster. It's just not going to get any better as time goes on. Like, what do you do here, John? Do you creep skip? Do you pull the creep? How do you fix this lane up now?
Creep skipping sounds good. I think you've got to accept that the lane's just sort of dead. Jabs will try to pull back, but you've got the mobility to punish.
Love this game of Gladiators. They're just not going to allow it. Jabs, he will get away with it in the end, but Celery, he'll go for a bit of a chase down. He does not want to make it. Jabs will continue pulling away the creep wave. Celery, can he get it to a neutral perhaps? Oh, looks like he may just. No, Jabs still getting the aggro. Is keep pulling through the Roshan. There goes Celery. He'll chase them all the way. It looks like Jabs does get away with the creep wave. Keep in mind though, John, this is all free farm now for Dyrachyo, just in the safe lane, just hidden creeps. In fact, never mind that, Dyrachyo, he wants to try and intercept, but is not going to be able to get the rift off.
And you really do just want to punish. And even if you're not punishing, a CK with this much early farm, going to mean an early armlet out for Dyrachyo. He's just going to be able to really be aggressive. I think the only shining moment right now for Fnatic is that mid lane for Armel. Like, he is finding the farm. He's worked that lane against Boom really, really well. Has a nice, considerable CS lead. Has been playing the small
Raven
as well.
Big trouble. No ghost ran up. Not going to be enough. Raven barely surviving. Will be well. And even the safe lane of Fnatic really being as dominant as you would have once expected.
Yeah, it's a lot of investment to stay there. And when you've got the Necrophos and he's completely beating down DK, it doesn't feel great. Top again. Constant aggression up into Jabs.
Yeah, he's in big trouble. He's him down with overpower. It's just so much attack speed for Dyrachyo, but they have lost the Brewmaster. At least for now, but Jabs, such low HP, cannot stick around. You'll have to make the walk of shame back, surely towards the fountain as mid lane. Armel gonna try and fight for the regen room, but boom. Easily remnants over, does pick it up. Is able to remain within the lane against the TA. You've got to give props to Armel, John. His CS, top of the board right now.
It's the only lane that's going well for Fnatic. Everything else has been less than ideal for Fnatic. Gaimin Gladiators are just working, timing well, threatening with how good they are, threatening with the stuns, and Jabs is just never safe. Every time he shows for that, immediately loses the HP. I think DJ must have expended like 3-4 salves at this point just to keep Jabs in lane.
It's going to be a lot. There you go. 1.1k, Jonathan, spent by DJ just to keep Jabs going. And well, even then, Jabs is still level 4. Almost 7 minutes in, level 4 on the Brewmaster. Compare that to the level 6 of Dyrachyo. What do you do now? Like, do you even return to the lane anymore? Is it time to just get up on it? He's coming back.
Are fortified.
They need some kind of hate with the TA mid. They'll bring you all up instead. Jabs, again in big danger. But slow them down with the fire spirit to Celery. He's going to be the target. Well with the HC, but Dyrachyo going to try and keep him safe as Celery. Looks to survive, and they just go back in. Comes out, DJ, he'll cop it. Dyrachyo moving in again. Look at the damage output. Armel's going to move in. Kind of focused in on Celery. Lost DJ. They'll get Celery down, but Dyrachyo's out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Level 6 up, no stuns, no overgrowth, no. At the very least, Armel does find a kill for his troubles, has the power treads up, is working towards that Dragonlance quite nicely here. And considering these slower lanes, Armel and Raven are finding some good farm. You're getting that early build-up, but the aggression for Gaimin is just never stopping.
Well, Boom's trying to get aggressive now mid lane. Mel is going to be fine. They'll just burn through fraction charges. Boom is just about 500 gold net worth behind the TA, but it's something you'd expect, right? Like, TA is just a flash farmer. You're always going to be behind this hero. In fact, props to Duraccio. He's still ahead on the CK. But to be fair, he has had a pretty free lane for himself.
Yeah, he certainly has. It's been free. He's been getting aggression out. There's no contest from Jabs. I've managed to build a lot of stacks on Fnatic's end. So they are clearing it out now for Arm to get that build up into the Dragonlance. He's going for that more, not really tempo, but the scaling TA Dragonlance into Deso, looking to just build up for his team, acting as the real win condition. Raven, for his part, is trying to rush into Travel, so you should expect some more early activity from Necros. It does feel like Fnatic should start to play around that.
Bot lane, chains out, Dragon Tail will follow up. Cookie, it's perfect timing. Gladiators chaining everything perfectly. Raven, he just survived through it. There was no help around up there. Genuel, he does TP in the end, but all he can do now is try to defend that bottom tier 1 tower and Ace. He's just going to start chipping away at it, even without the Dragon form up. It will be there in a second. So that bottom tier 1 tower, it's as good as dead.
Yeah, it's not going to last long. Living armor only at level 1 as well. Not the best amount to sustain. The armor's not the highest as well. They will TP back Raven. Oh, he does have Reaper's Son. He's got his Hood of Defiance. It's a bit tankier here.
But where are you going to get the damage, John? Damage coming.
You kind of need the TA to show up, but it's a farming. It's a TA mid. You don't really want to. You don't have a blink.
Radiant's middle tower
a bit of an awkward spot for Fnatic. It feels like Fnatic, they understand that they've got really good team fight when their supports hit level 6 as well. With the cores, it just such a slow process considering how far behind they were in those lanes.
It's true, and Mel, he's gonna get chained up. Remnants forward. He gets it first. Mel will meld up, but it's not gonna matter. Sentry's down. TP's not enough either. High fives between boys as they move in for more. DJ, he's gonna be okay. Jabs will be left to run, but they're going after that mid tier 1 tower now. They've got the siege creep up. It does seem like Fnatic are about to lose all their tier 1 towers by around the 11-minute mark. As Gaimin looking for a bit more to jump in, but they'll go right back up tier 1 tower. And the bottom tier 1 is as good as gone as well. This is a disastrous start for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's not looking good, but Gaimin Gladiators playing excellently, understanding the strengths of their drafts, understanding the weakness of Fnatic at every single lane, and just having Boom pop off. Like, he just shows up. He is building into that Spirit Vessel, so you will have a really strong wave just counteracting all the healing from the and all healing from the Phoenix and the Necrophos. And something that sustain that Fnatic wants in the middle of these fights, it feels a lot less impactful. So you're going to have to watch yourself here. Fnatic, they're still playing slow. They're trying to build for the TA, but it does feel like they've neglected their Brewmaster and their Necrophos in terms of getting that pace going. No splits out yet from Jabs, focusing on the farm. No Reaper Sight usage from Raven. It's like you said when we pointed this out, though. No damage. Not until Armel's in can you really play around these spells.
Ace, he'll move in again. Bot tier 1 tower is the help right behind him. Fnatic, they have moved their way up. Cookie, it's off the mark, but Raven, he was still stunned up. Mortimer's kisses are there. Egg is dropping the little shredder. It's going to make it in time. Reaper Sight does nothing. They'll eventually find Tofu, but what does it matter? Duraccio, he'd be a much bigger killer if Fnatic can find it. But GG, they are around to try and help out as Duraccio is going to get dived. Maybe they have the damage. Unable to relocate in time. Meanwhile, Boom, he needs to run it out. Fnatic, they don't lose that tier 1, and they do find a couple of pick Jabs. Was looking for a bit more, but is unable to find another target.
Yeah, it's a bit split up for Fnatic. The egg came down, we did the Ogre immediately on top of it. Jabs with the split does make a lot of big plays, cutting off that aggression, giving Fnatic that opening. There is a solution here coming on for Fnatic. There's that instant response from Gaimin when can you relocate when they've got to be really aggressive, but you still have to respect that without the Spirit Vessel fully up, the sustain strong. Raven just manages to stand in front with Fonts through all of that and still manages to get work and does get a Reaper Sight charge, but still kind of sets up the kills that they need on Fnatic. And smoke out here though.
Big kill if they can find Armel. Boom, moving in immediately. Cookie, oh, it's off the mark again. Second time in a row. A play from Gaimin. They just turn around at the wrong moment and they'll miss the Cookie.
Yeah, sometimes that cookie, you try to throw it out in a very, very, very precise moment, and then the wavelengths don't line. And so you miss out an opportunity. Armel gets back to farming. Been a very big kill to cement Gladiator's position, kind of compensate for that last fight. So Armel is just going to go back to farm. You can see here again.
Yep. What can you do? Cookie up. Boom. I don't want this anymore. He was trying to throw Remnant out for the exit plan, but wrong timing. Bit unfortunate.
It happens sometimes, you know, trying to play it safe, have all your bases covered, and just lines up at the wrong time. Gaimin Gladiators, though, still leading by a good amount of misses. The 3K lead for Gaimin, getting some really tall build up here on Diracho. Blink coming out next for his CK with the Saber and Armlet up. So he's going to be able to initiate really well for him, that in with down the line Ace's Blink. He's going for KB first on the DK. They want that big front hero. They just don't want to be burst down and held down by Fnatic's team. Fnatic, for their part, they've been sitting on level 6 for a while now. They've got Overgrowth back up. They've got Egg back up. They've got Split back up. Even Reaper Sight is ready on Raven. It feels like this is the moment where Fnatic should start to be looking for more. They've got Travels up in Raven. You can just show up to and to get a fight going.
Where do they go? Fnatic still defensive. They'll TP down bot. Or heroes, they might go for a smoke attempt. Here you go. Raven will join Jabs with the primal split. Should be able to set up. Ace is the target they're looking for on the night as they try to slow him down, but they miss out with his grasp. Ace, he'll go for a run. More misses are in. Jab, he won't go for the split yet. In fact, they don't need it. Reaper slaps up. Raven, damage him. Here come game. They want to get a bit of revenge going on the Necrophos. Ghost Shroud will protect them. The primal split is going to be out onto the end, but they go firm. He's going to get his way out, but Remedy an inch away as the Cyclone Diracho getting caught with Celery. He should go for relocate. Get it. They do set. Because Celery is going to have to come back into this fight. So it should be another kill for Fnatic. A 3 for nothing so far, including the IO, but boom, he's going to move in and try to save Celery. Tether away to Diracho. He went back in. This might cost him. He'll try for the TP out, and in fact, he'll make it. Just TP forehead.
No stuns. You know, stuns win games, Mike. And for Fnatic, that's all tied into the ults. None of them are off. They expended it at the start of the fight. You still lose Celery. You don't lose Diracho. It feels a lot better for Fnatic still. You know, they find some big pickoffs over there. They slow down the build-up of Ace into his BKB, and they get that charge up on Raven. Fnatic just needs to keep playing around those cooldowns. Next time they've got 3 ults up, look for the kill, keep forcing the plays, drag in Armel every now and again, have him kind of peek in and out of farming and kills and just build up that way. For Gaimin, every time those ults are down, that's an opportunity for them, and that's a lot more opportunities. There's a lot of ults that with pretty decently long cooldowns here for Fnatic.
Oh, Diracho will start the Roshan. Gaimin Gladiator is going to move in. Jabs, he seems to know something has arrived. He sees the courier now, does take it down. Does now very realize that the Roshan is being taken as they'll drag him in. Jabs gets rifted up. Boom, he gave the vision with the sleight of fist, but Jabs, he's going to be fine. Raven does save the day with the Death Seeker as Jabs, he'll keep going. Diracho, 1 inch, Chaos Knights gone. Gonna be KB and run. Boom, he'll try to do the same. Remnant away the Overgrowth. Not gonna hold him down. Death Seeker follow. Diracho, he'll get back. Jabs, he's gone now. Fnatic, they need to retreat. Armel will blink away. Raven have to do it the old-fashioned way and just walk. DJ has the Icarus dive. They bought back for this, John. They won't find a kill that they really wanted apart from Jabs, but they have to go back for the Roshan now.
Now they've got to try to take it. They've got the egg ready here. Fnatic just need a good angle for DJ. They've still got them stuff this having Overgrowth here.
Oh, DJ raised a bit early. He was looking to sneak in and still. Oh, DJ, no. He's got the Icarus dive. He's going to be okay. They'll keep going. Armel, he does have a blink up. Gaimin taking their time with this Roshan. They're being very patient. The traps are giving vision on the Roshan. Jabs is back up with the prime to boot, so this is not the team anymore for Gaimin. They've still committed a buyback for this. They'll smoke up instead. In the meantime, will meld right. Roshan might try to steal while they are fighting. Jabs hold back. Duraccio, he's too far forward. Reaper sight this out. It is enough in the end to take him down. The relocate was not there in time. Celery, he's going to get out of there, but so do the rest of Gaimin as the cycle is out. Jabs, he'll hold Tofu. The Snapfire in big trouble. There's your IO. There's your relocate back the other way towards the Roshan pit. But Roshan's gone, John. Armel, he takes it while the fight was happening. Fnatic, it's a massive win for the Radiant.
That was such a tricky fight for Fnatic to really execute, right? Like, they didn't have Overgrowth, they had Egg, they barely got Jabs back after stalling Roche for such a long time, yet they still find the timing to do that. They forced the issue, great look in from Armel, just while everyone was out. This is a sentry to spot him if someone was hanging in that pit. But he chooses the right time to go, clears out Roshan, and gives Fnatic that opportunity to just take this very fragmented fight. Gaimin, they didn't quite go all in on Roche. They were going in and out. It was giving so much time for Fnatic that they still found the opportunity, despite, again, Overgrowth's probably their one big stunt to set up for, say, the Egg. And they managed to not find that opportunity despite that spell being blown by Johnwell much earlier on. So Fnatic riding on the coattails now of Armel. Our TA is growing bigger and bigger now. 10k net worth above the CK after a bit of a slower start. Fnatic has found themselves a foundation to stand on. And the only hero struggling on Fnatic's end is Jabs. The build up here on our Brewmaster going a lot slower than you'd want to. Ag's gonna be delayed, refresh downline's gonna be a lot longer. Gaimin, they still have those early timings lined up for Diracho and for our DK.
I mean, you got to give credit to Jabs, though. He's having a great time, a great game so far, just setting up every fight, as we do get to see the net worth difference here between Armel and Duraccio. And naturally, Duraccio, he was keeping up very effectively, Jonathan, but after those last team fights, that buyback committed, the dieback happening, it's just terrible news for Gaimin now. Raven taking a great lead, and this is where you've got to be very careful as Gaimin. You hit a timing with this TA Necrophos, it's hard to keep up after once they've hit that timing, and we'll see when Fnatic do want to start really pressuring. They might want to throw items up on RL before they do get going. Maybe just the Dragon and stick them out. Build done good for Fnatic at the moment as Gaimin. Well, they're the ones that got to find a way to try and fight back against the power spike.
I think for Gaimin, a couple of BKBs will help the cause. They already have that BKB up on Ace, but he doesn't have the blink. So you don't have the follow through on the DK to help out your Ember, especially if he does jump in the front. Boom is also working towards his own BKB. And I think once you have those two BKBs plus the blink on DK, that's when the opportunities line itself up once more for Gaimin. That's when they can see ults expended, they go in.
Jab, go for a rush in. More remnant way. The rest of Gaimin Gladiators just going towards the bottom part of the map, trying to get that farm going, realizing they may be a little bit too far behind at the moment. Armel in the meantime, he'll take the top tier 2 tower, or at least try to. For defense to come out here from Gaimin, but got so much vision in those tree lines. No way to TP in. You go, Armel, chances are he's just going to jump you. Gaimin seem to know this. They won't make the defense up towards the top tier 2 tower. Instead, Fnatic, they'll go down towards the bot lane, but well, Gaimin, they do back up at the exact right time.
Yeah, just avoiding every single fight. Right now for Gaimin, they know they're up against Aegis. They know these spells for Fnatic are off cooldown. Fnatic gonna smoke in the bot. Could have a good collapse opportunity onto the mid. Jabs is also around, looking for that opportunity. Is pretty beefy. It's the only target they really see. No one else up top. Boom is farming up very far away from that smoke location. He's getting a good flank here. Is gonna be a little tougher, and it does feel like that smoke is wasted. Gaimin should be able to just avoid hanging around in the bot lane, keeping their own farm game up. Fnatic, I mean, they've already taken the top 2. They could take Outpost, but they still have time. Well, at least less than a minute. Enough time to at least pressure a tier 2 again.
Absolutely. Back into the mid tier 2 tower, they go. Fnatic. Gaimin not really interested in trying to respond right now. Celery even just relocating to the mid lane to try and just skip the creep wave and force them to back off and stop going up tier 2 mid tower. You'd love to see it, but Celery, he's still an IO, John. He's just delaying the inevitable, and in fact, tier 2's gone. The backdoor never kicked in.
Just too much damage coming out from Armel. Game are doing a great job of avoiding, but it begs the question, if Fnatic never fights, they're never going to use their ults. If they never use their ults, they're always off cooldown. If they're always off cooldown, Gaimin can't force a fight. So they're kind of stuck in a stalemate.
He's going to blink right into Celery. Duraccio immediately just TPing out. Celery, he'll do the same. Nice quick thing. Unable to find himself a tower. But he will take the bottom T1 tower instead. Again, Gaimin Gladiators don't seem interested in a fight right now. They understand it's a power spike for Fnatic. They've got to just leave them alone for a bit, get that initial farm on Duraccio, BKB to come out before you smoke up and go for the fight.
Yeah, they've already got one BKB up on Boom in addition to Ace's BKB. And this should be the route full BKB being flown out as well. So triple BKBs up for Gaimin. It should be the moment where they can commit onto Fnatic. Their ults do go through BKBs. So that is for Fnatic to do it. But John Well is going to have to time himself really well with that overgrowth to give that opportunity back to Fnatic despite that spell immunity.
Fnatic will group up down the bot lane. This is a blessing in disguise here for Gaimin. Again, the BKB's up. They should be willing to smoke and try to force the fight. Even on the low ground, and there's your smoke up now. Gaimin, they'll make their way over through the bot lane. It'll be a big team fight for them. Tofu, the only one who will stick back. Just for the Mortimer's Kisses is Boom. Frontline for the team. Fnatic, though, they realize the smoke might be happening. They'll back off in the tree line under their own vision. They'll wait very carefully. Again, they're wrapping around the long way, trying to find a nice angle to initiate this team fight as Armel. He's going to show himself, but this is all the trap. They have all the vision in the world with the traps and with the Tinker Ward. It could be a terrible team fight for Gaimin to try and initiate, but they've got to try with those BKBs. There's no choice in the matter. They're still waiting. Mel, he does take the tier 2 bot. Are they going to jump? Ace? Not quite yet. There's a counter smoke now for Fnatic, but it's going to be broken immediately on Jabs. Duraccio is still waiting behind the tree line. Boom, show himself on the end strip. There is your primal slit. Boom, remnanting back is going to get stunned up, I believe, as the rock will follow. He's still fine as Jabs. He'll look around for a bit more, but Duraccio going to try and go after the spirits. We'll get Tornado up in bit 3. Pulled out now, but where's the fall damage? It's not there yet. Here comes the DA though. They're trying to get Armel right side on Celery, his own BKB Celery. He's dropping low. Then on strike Duraccio. He's left alone. Celery, he'll back. Evil's gone. They're gonna go for the fight. The egg, it does explode. Jabs is gonna drop to boot Duraccio. He'll barely go down here to Raven. Can they really take the fight? Armel going after Tofu. We'll find another Fnatic. They've gone too far. Boom on a triple kill. Will completely clean up the side of Fnatic.
It was a lot back and forth, a lot of patience coming through there from both sides to look for that opportunity. Fnatic in the end got a little bit impatient. They smoked, they immediately tried to rectify that, look for the straggler, or what they thought was a straggler, and didn't quite find the angle. Really great split from Jabs to cut off the aggression on the left side, but they were waiting. Boom was just hanging in the back, instantly lose the Fire Panda, so a lot of damage lacked. Armel had to jump in with his BKB to kill off the IO, and that left him very vulnerable once that BKB faded. They couldn't land that overgrowth egg combo once more, and Johnny Well just dies. Little Shredder ruins his game.
And that was very heads up from Gaimin as well. They seem to have read the fact that there may have been vision placed down in that tree line on the far right side of the map from Fnatic, and they were correct. Had they fought in that area, it may have been a different story, but they forced Fnatic to go to the high ground of the triangle first, and naturally they're at a disadvantage trying to make it to that high ground. And so Fnatic, they overextend a little bit, and suddenly Gaimin, they've got the net worth lead once again.
They bounce back in. They are the aggressors at this point. Look for the tier 2s and Jabs.
Yeah, he's in big trouble again. Can he get himself out? And forever. Jabs can knock it out of there. Gaimin, they'll find another great kill, and suddenly they're on to the top 2 tower.
That's a painful death for Jabs. He was 200 gold away from the tier 2. Living armor's there. It's not going to keep it alive for that much longer.
At all. Gaimin, again, doing a fantastic job here in this game. Number 1, Fnatic, they had such a great start, but suddenly they are falling behind. And see what they can do to try and push the game back their way now. Recane it with advantage for Gaimin. Not too far, but Fnatic, you'd rather have that on your end of things. This game, and they're going to start Roshan once again. Last time they were forced to get the Roshan back the way of Fnatic. This time they do not allow it. They'll run Roshan real time fast. Fnatic are going to try and smoke up. Are they going to really be able to make it? It doesn't seem like it, but they have a bit of time trying to rush, but it's too late. He's got the Aegis of Fnatic. I don't think they'll fall this fight. Surely.
Just a bit late on that smoke if they managed to reach there in time. Overgrowth, Blink ready on Johnny Well. They had the egg ready. Everything was set to go. And that might have been an opportunity for them to sneak another Roche if they managed to find that angle. Gaimin up by 5k, 11 to 13. Such a tight match between these two teams. Very patient from both sides. Very confident. Gaimin going for their own smoke now with the Aegis up.
But they are.
Dire's courier.
Oh, they've got the advantage with that secondary life. Shards up as well. Durachio feeling very confident. He's there now on Jabs though. He's got 2 charges of the primal split. It could be bad timing for Gaimin to try and initiate because they don't know the Ags is there. Durachio not going to find the target he wants. Fnatic still just hiding throughout the mid lane in the tree liners. They will spot out Boom, but do they have the lockdown? Not quite. Boom, he's going to be just fine to walk out of there. Again, your only lockdown is Januel or Jabs. You are heavily reliant on those two, and of course you can commit a quick Reaper Scythe, but chances are you aren't going to pick the damage full HP. So Boom, still being chased down here by Fnatic, but again, I just don't think they have the lockdown.
And Gaimin are getting a nice slow push done on the top X in tier 3 now. Just pressuring with the lane being shoved in. Ace getting that done all by himself with a shard. Raven forced to respond. You're going to miss that one piece of lockdown now coming from Necrophos. You're going to miss that big easy wave ripping apart these strength cores with Reaper Sight. And game just back off. They played a little bit slower. They know they have lead. They know it's on Fnatic's best interest to try to force bigger team fights. Every single time they don't, they get to farm a lot more. The CK scale really well. Boom on the Ember. Oh, he has to guard up. Just able to kite around with these heroes a lot more and mitigate some of that healing as well in the middle of these fights. Fnatic, and they've got a lot of issues going into those engagements. It's all about timing. If Johnny can get the overgrowth after BKBs are popped, then the fight can maybe feel manageable for Fnatic.
Jabs, he'll pop the primal split. Keep in mind they have the axe now up on the DK, so you've got the big black dragon. Might just drop immediately, and does Armel. Will use his BKB to take him out. Jabs, he'll go for another tornado onto Tofu. Boom, he's going to make his way over. Jabs still going. Has another primal split, but the stuns are around. Durachio going to try and burst him down. Jabs, he's gone. He doesn't get the second life off in the egg. There is going to be an egg out from DJ, but it's not going to last. In fact, Januel, he's going to drop to boot. Raven will be chased down. Mortimer's kisses out through the Ghost Shroud. He will melt.
It's getting a bit dicey. Fnatic, they force that fight, they blink in, get the overgrowth. DJ feels like he's
Radiant's top
he
tower
can't really get a good egg off. They have so much attack speed in Gaimin. The combination just isn't doing enough, and it's difficult for Fnatic to just find the openings. With those big kills and with the ults down, they have a perfect opportunity to just clean up the top set of racks. They still have some tier 2s to work through. Not going to be able to find that much more, but this just cements their position in this game. It's Fnatic don't have the best angles. They don't have a lot of options in trying to find these pickoffs. They need to commit the ults. And if they commit the ults and nothing happens, if the BKB usage is perfect from Gaimin, you just don't have anything. Like, you can try to hope that Armel fights its damage. It's a lot of heroes he has to manage by himself.
Yeah, Gaimin Gladiator is just so strong. I mean, they were so patient, John. They just waited for their BKB timings until they turned the whole game on its hitters Jabs. We'll go for a primal split. Armel in the backside trying to go after Boom. Just doesn't have the damage right now. They'll go for the fight. Armel, he's going to lose his BKB very, very soon as Durachio trying up to DJ. He'll Icarus dive out, but Durachio again going in onto Raven. That's a big target. They've got the Necrophos. He does have buyback, and he'll commit immediately as GG. Are they going to stick around? It does seem like they want to retreat. Armel still chipping away. Jabs, he has another primal split in 5 seconds. But it is 5 seconds away, and it's 5 seconds too long.
That's enough time for Gaimin to just back up. Gladiators onto the high ground in the triangle. They want back in Raven. They want to get something done out of this. Raven, he's been having some really good farm, especially from the early game. Right, he wasn't dominating the lane, but he was getting that build up. We're at the point we are 32 minutes in, Mike. Only one Reaper Sight charge. Like, sure, it's not really why you picked the hero to really just keep getting those stacks up. At the same time, Necrophos wants to be ahead. You want to kill every single time with the Reaper side. 22 minutes and just 1 kill. Like, they haven't been able to play around the ults as well as they wanted to on Fnatic's end, and it's all off the back of how well GG's been reading the map, reading the movement, and just positioning themselves perfectly to avoid those engagements.
Been a very, very good play here from Gaimin Gladiators now. 13k net worth advantage. Fnatic, they are still holding to 2 Raxes. Expirers. They've got to regroup and recover. Gaimin, they're just going to keep doing exactly what they're doing. Just dominating. They'll hold the Radiant jungle. They'll their way into the bottom tier. On the side, Armel does have the edge up. It still doesn't feel like it's going to be anywhere near enough, though.
No, not quite. Like, the damage output is getting a little bit better. The break mechanic is
Armel,
useful.
Big group lane. Gaimin, not going to have the lockdown. Armel, he's going to be okay to get to the high ground. You can see Gaimin, they're just so hot. They're just so thirsty for blood right now. They understand how powerful they are. They just want to go back down to the bottom 2 tower. They'll start with that. Open up the whole map. Really open up that high ground. Make it harder for Fnatic.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Durachio, he'll get started.
But he overcharge up doesn't too long with all the attack speed he has. Fnatic, their one shining point here is their ground hold is pretty good. Overgrowth, egg, the combination shines in such a confined area. Now it's all about execution. Finding that thing, finding the position to get a good egg, to get that good overgrowth, to enable Armel to just focus in and hit. Maybe have Raven provide some slight healing and disarms for the Death Seeker. GG though, will go for a smoke play themselves, reclaim the triangle. Are looking for a scan, thinking that Fnatic using this opportunity to farm up. Not quite. They do have a flank angle from top. They will just break the smoke and kind of go farming the CK. Fnatic a little bit more time here to try and catch up. But GG, they just covered most of the map. You know, they're taking control in the triangle, shoving in all the lanes. There's not much room for Fnatic to breed here, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Armel's still top of the net worth port, surprisingly enough, here on this TA, regardless of what's happened. They are 16k behind. Armel, he's got the farm. It just might be getting to that stage where you might want to start thinking about Divines, John. Might be one of those games.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, though, going for the Divine on the TA. It just doesn't feel like a very secure TA game. You know, it's not like you're the most survivable up front. There's a lot of damage, a lot of attack speed coming through from GG to burn through your refraction. And they've already got the gem anyway, so Meld's not going to be saving as well. Neither is that Silver Edge. But it does feel like it might be an all-in playtime. You know, you do need to bring something out of the bag here. I guess a couple more things is like, say, a refresh up on Zhao would be one way, but has a pause 5 tree, and that's a bit of a pipe now, Mike.
Yeah. All they can do right now is keep split pushing, and you'll see Armel skipping the bot creep wave. They use the relocate to try and push it back in, but Armel is not allowing it, so instead Gaimin, they might force themselves through the mid or top lane. Force the fight that way. Sperm will move in into route onto the Brewmaster, but Jabs, he's going to be... They've got the Black Dragon there from Ace. So much damage on those Raxes in the mid lane. They do get the range ropes. Taking things nice and slow for now. Not overextending here on Gaimin as they do move in Jab. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Jabs, he'll try to survive through. He needs that primal split. He does barely get it off in time. Jabs, no, he can't really move back in. They can't force the fight, I don't think. It does feel like Gaimin need to overextend for Fnatic to have a chance to win a team fight here in this high ground.
Yeah, they've really got to do a couple of things. GG needs to plump up and kind of be lousy with BKBs. Like a slip of the decision making in terms of getting that spell immunity, that's when Fnatic finds the opening. But when you're relying on small mistakes to find your opening, it's really tough to force that out of opponents, especially considering how GG's been playing. Just very clean, very patient, and very calculated every single step. They eventually find that mid set of racks. Only the bot left. Roshan up at 40 seconds. GG already checking the area and is there to spot them out from Fnatic, but they figure out it's also not happening as well. Fnatic are smoked up though, wanted to force something.
Oh, they think Roshan's happening. Oh, boom, he breaks the smoke too. Nothing going to come out of this. Sperm chases up the TA. Try to move in. GG, they're just going straight forward. EJ can be so careful. They've got so much damage. Reaper's sight is out, does nothing. Meanwhile, TJ does drop to ace, but will buy back. They want the fight. Celery being caught out. Duraccio trying to fight against the Brewlings, while Celery is still trying to find a way out. Summoner go shredded up now. In fact, Genuel gonna drop. Will buy back as well. Armel getting finished off. Celery, but ace, he's right on top. Armel's in big trouble. He's gone. He will have the buyback, but he won't commit it. There's just no point. The fight's already over.
Purged by flame.
And it's straight to Roshan now for GG off the back of that fight, forcing a lot of buybacks out from Fnatic. At least they didn't buy back under big course, but they take the opportunity to shove in mid, going through some of these junk buildings into the towers, trying to force that buyback out of Armel. A dicey situation for Fnatic. They still have the overgrowth egg. I feel like I've been saying that combination is their only play. It's never been coming out, Mike. It's just so difficult to land that.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
There's that final lane of barracks being taken. The buybacks will not be expected here from Fnatic.
Now have
Mega creeps up onto the tier 4 towers. Fnatic, they're going to buy back now. They know to give it one last shot. Break out onto Boom. He won't mind though. He's Ember. Easy ways out as the Duraccio is going to make the jump in. He does melt. No primal split available. Genuel's down as well. Mel, he might just get fountain dived here as they do call the GG. They've had enough. They have had enough. My oh my, Gaimin Gladiators. It was looking rough for the first half of the game. Mel, he was so far ahead, but eventually they just took over after one decent team fight. You can't underestimate these guys. They are really good at turning these kind of games around.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say the entire first half of the game was tough. Laning phase looked really good for GG as well.
Right.
But like Raven on the Necrophos didn't dominate the lane up against the DK all that much. And you expect that matchup.
Right
yeah, that's what we want.
No, we don't want that at all, actually. We want the tiebreakers. So let's go Fnatic. Woo! And then, of course, against spoilers, let's go TSM to get a win on their side to get another draw, because we want to have the 6-way tiebreak. We do want to repeat the entire group in one day, run it back, see who's the best.
Some people just want to see the world burn.
But that's what Twitch chat loves, and that's exactly why everyone...
all about the Twitch chat.
When I see that, you know the little vote up top, where it's like, who wants to win?
Yeah.
The actual teams who want Gladiators win are still going to be voting for Fnatic, because they know they want the tiebreakers deep down in them.
You think that in this game, most people will vote Fnatic?
100%. This is...
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, people don't have anything better to do. They want to watch more Dota.
Okay.
85% minimum for Fnatic.
85% for Fnatic.
Because they want the tiebreakers.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen. Maybe people just now want to prove TGov wrong. I know the urge is strong.
It's 100% to Gladiators.
All right, we got a draft in front of us. Game 2. It is Fnatic on the dire side this time around. They have first pick, Gaimin Gladiators. second pick and therefore overall last pick on the Radiant side. And they open up with the Mars. We have Fnatic once again open up with their mid-hero. We saw the Armel Templar Assassin in game 1, and now we have the Storm picked up straight up off the bat.
Again, to be very clear, first phase Storm, perfectly fine. The hero is very good. I like the fact that they covered it with the DK ban. I think that was a very nice combination on your second pick. You just go like DK plus Grim, DK plus Hoodwink, and then you have instant stun into some damage to kill off the Storm Spirit. But they ban it out themselves. Gladiators, they do pick up some nice lockdown in regards to Bane and then potentially that Spear, but not the strongest of pairings to deal with the Storm Spirit. But yeah, overall, pretty solid.
There's still one hero left in the pool that can amplify Storm, because Io and Keeper of the Light are out. Pugna, not banned, not picked yet, but they go with the CK. CK just overall great against any heroes that can't deal well with his illusions. Like Bane just suffers at any stage of the game unless he's the one that's getting initiation. And you also have a Storm Spirit who does make Bane's life miserable.
I just realized as well, when Gladiators pick Mars, it opens up for everything to be possible, because of course they run the Mars in the carry, the mid, the offlane. We've seen Ace play the Meepo because they're able to put Draccio onto this Mars, playing a bit more sacrificial. Might not see that here, but again, don't get fooled by this Mars pick. It really does open up the creativity of this team.
It really does. CK now picked up by Fnatic. That's 2 cores in the opening. I mean, we don't see it. We don't see too often, but it's not unusual now.
Not at all. These are very meta heroes right now, and also the ban from Fnatic, this Underlord, might be covering, but I feel like it just indicates the carry CK.
Yeah. Fnatic, if this is a carry CK, and it sounds like it, they definitely need to get rid of Medusa. Medusa, one of the heroes that can't be bursted that easily, and you just do well at every single stage of the game against the CK, especially once you hit your 3+ item timings.
Yeah, if it is a carry CK, most likely you'll see Underlord, Medusa, and what was the other? Troll, I think they banned Troll,
yeah.
EG banned Troll when they picked up the carry CK. Again, the Whirling Axe is very powerful. There's the Medusa.
So on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, it's very easy to target some of the supports. They have just removed already the Grimstroke. Are there any other supports they would want to remove? Because there's not that much that you need to cover the picks that they've had so far. I don't think you want to ban a Rubik, because that feels not worthy. But is there anything in particular that you expect them to ban here?
If you're Gladiators, you've already covered the Shaman. Grim's banned out.
Fnatic's turn to
you don't have to respect the Monkey King support here, just because you already have Mars, and Arena's pretty good against that.
The hero that we mentioned, Pugna, just to be able to have another save inside the arena and also pump up the mana into the Storm Spirit. That's the third one. This seems to be like the most popular one, I would say, even these days.
Maybe even still respect the tree, potentially. Yeah. When you have hero like a Bane already, can't really invade and help with that push early on. The Mars doesn't really hit towers. Some casual tree in the second phase for Fnatic might be the undoing of Gladiators in their kind of early desire to skirmish and take fight.
One hero that also comes to my mind that can work against CK is Monkey King. There is a Storm Spirit on the other side, so might be a bit tricky, because Storms, they do love to like hunt Monkey King in the mid game pre-BKB, but they do get rid of the Raid King.
Gaimin Gladiators is one of the few teams that play Bane from the position 4 frequently as well. Is this something that you guys like to see?
I think Tofu's a really heads-up player in regards to his position, knowing where he needs to be on the map. And Bane is that hero where if you are in the right position at the right
Traxix.
I bring an end. The self arrives at last.
Out for blood.
I'm feeling punchy. Unleash the beasts of war. The tournament. Our shields shall clash. Ah, the field.
By the Dark Pact.
Disruptor.
The Vulcan.
But
Here's nice fun. It's pretty spooky.
It feels like the same as game one in regards to not the messiness of fight Fnatic can provide, but their need to use their limited stuns perfectly. Where if Ember initiates, you have to kill him off first, otherwise then you're going to have the Ench, the Bane, the Mars all having like such easy times entering a team fight. Fnatic, it's all about, they need to set the pace of this game, they need to be ones initiating and entering the fight on their kind of choice.
Gaimin Gladiators, they will need some kind of tower damage. If we're talking about sieging the tier 2 towers, tier 3s, that's with the lineup that they got gonna be a problem. Enchantress does take care of tier 1 towers, but once we get to that like mid-game territory, it becomes kind of difficult. They do get rid of the Bloodseeker, something that has been on the rise for a little while. We've seen other teams throughout the major picking it.
I must say, the hero pool of the Russia this major so far hasn't been super diverse.
It's been about 4 heroes, yeah. It's not been a lot. And of the 4 heroes...
Bloodseeker 4 times or what?
Yeah, Bloodseeker's banned. What was it? Is Monkey available? Sven and PA. But honestly, if you look at just heroes he played so far, sure there's a break from Hoodwink, but I still think PA would fare pretty well, being able to jump with the Ember Spirit. CK never really threatens you until you have like the itemization or the combo with Hoodwink. And I think just the lack of lockdown again, a mobility style core that can also punish Fnatic wasting in the mid game. It's not as if Fnatic are hitting towers though. Like, look at these heroes.
They're not. They're also very squishy. Like seeing this Hoodwink, Beaver, even Storm to one extent. They're just also very single target oriented lineup on their side.
Well, they're still tied in the pool that you guys mentioned if they want to go for a tanky one.
Yeah, and
of course anti-mage ban. I'm talking about elusive heroes. They have a Storm. Sip the mine, but yeah, nice little cover ban there.
If any of these heroes are caught inside of the arena, they're gonna die. Not Storm Spirit, but these 2 supports, like even CK, they definitely feel very vulnerable because this Mars provides them lockdown. Once Sven goes in with the BKB, I think it becomes like very difficult. Like any BKB second item carry is going to cause a lot of issues for Fnatic.
Yo, they ban Mag, they ban Sand King. They have a Mars for Dracula, they have an Ember mid. They're against a Storm and a Weaver hood.
You're trying to set
Is this a
something
puzzle?
up, but,
Is this a puzzle?
but I'm not reading it.
The Ace Meepo. They have provided the last 2 bans, the draft that okay, there's a tide. All right.
The tide that we mentioned
okay.
looked good, and
Well.
now that monkey seems good, I would say.
Yeah.
And what was the other option that we mentioned?
We mentioned Sven and PA
Yeah.
as the other heroes that he played so far this major, but his hero pool is quite large regardless. He can play a lot of different things.
5 seconds.
I still think PA is fine. Like, you
PA
have
does
break with
give
the shard.
free lane to
The later
Tide
portion,
Hunter,
yeah,
but yeah, you gotta play 4 versus 5 pretty much until you get to like
You can with your
SO
heroes, to be fair.
SOBKB shard timing.
Yeah.
They needed more team fight. They needed something to match up this Mars arena. And now this Tide Hunter makes a lot of sense. Also, the thing that I mentioned, that there is no real hero that Tide Hunter is afraid of in this game. Like, you know that he's getting the Ravage off.
Just a bit upset we're not seeing Ace talk. That means it's not probably going to be a spicy
Maybe he
pick.
said...
But he's
"Meepo."
thinking, he has 50 seconds, and he's now trying to solve the exact puzzle
Yeah.
that you just pointed out. You know, sometimes you just need to have some thinking.
They're now laughing. Hope they pick the Meepo lol.
Nah.
They want the tiebreakers. Well, actually, they're going to need the tiebreaker. They go for
There's
Monkey
Monkey
King. Yeah. It's a shame.
Yeah, not that much surprise on hindsight, but, you know, it's stable.
You can stand your ground against Fnatic. When they initiate, you're going to most likely already have the vision, be it from Bane being aggressive, or the Ench creep, or Ember poking. It will allow Monkey most times to get the Wukongs off, and then it's kind of awkward for Fnatic to all commit onto that hero. So no, yeah, I think Gladiators, just because I see the Boom Ember, the comfort of their heroes, I feel like all of them are somewhat specialties.
Yeah.
At this point, I am slightly favoring them.
Looking at their draft, like it's a lot of team fight. Just Monkey plus Arena. It's at every single stage of the game. This is gonna be very difficult for Fnatic to fight into. Like, none of these heroes wants to stay inside of it, so they need to reset. And also the burst damage is okay-ish. Storm Spirit plus Hoodwink can deal some. I think this game's gonna come down to initiation.
Yeah.
I'm favoring Gaming Gladiators lineup, but just for the sake of possibly 6-way tie, I'm gonna go with Fnatic.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. wait, the caster curse. We have to double down on Gladiators, right?
Oh really?
Yeah, Gladiators will win. Yep. 6-way
GG.
tiebreaker.
Okay, Gladiators will 100% take this.
They've already won. It's 100%.
We'll see. Of course, Fnatic will try to not let that happen. They do have some stuns this time, Mike. You know, they've got the Bushwhack, they've got the Chaos Bolt on hand, so they can kind of get some control going this time around in comparison to game